No, you good. You good. They're little DJ headphones. No big deal. We're about to mix some beats.
Use my AirPods, man.
Yeah, right. I mean, we just get the receiver for it. We got it.
Perfect.
So you doing Orange Theory Fitness now?
All right. So I was talked into trying one session because my girl goes, and I threw up.
So what was it? Was it too much conditioning? Were they just
cardio,
beating the shit out of you?
I do like a total of 7 minutes of cardio a year, and they topped that in the first 7 minutes. So I don't know. I was trying not to look like a bitch, and I pushed it too far, and I was like, I just got to go outside real quick, throw up the trash can. And
Oh, man.
In all due respect, it was like 5 a.m.
No,
right?
my first session, no, that was the one I posted.
Okay.
Greg, let's get you up on that mic.
Yeah, get up on that
There
mic.
you go, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one was like noon on a Saturday.
Okay.
Wasn't bad.
So you were hungover from Friday, and
No, I didn't even go out. I like planned it. I was like, I know I'm gonna look like an asshole, so I gotta like try to do my best. Took my pre-workout, and it was a lot harder than I thought.
My buddy Vinny. I don't know if you know. He used to play ball. Did you play baseball?
Yeah, but only 2 years in high school.
Okay, so he was East Meadow. He played travel.
Vinny what?
Vinny Orlando.
No, I grew up in East Meadow though.
Okay, so he actually played a ton of ball, but he's actually becoming an Orange Theory coach now. So evidently it's good money. I don't know.
No, you know what? I heard that like the lead trainers there make decent money, but
the franchise themselves make fucking bank.
Yeah, they
They do really well.
yep. Well, they're popping up everywhere now. I mean, it's like F45 was popular in Australia, and that just came here now. They have one in Massapequa. So.
Is that the one that's out in California? It's more prevalent out there right now.
It probably is out there, but I think it started in Australia.
Okay.
You know, it's funny. It's like the group fitness version of Planet Fitness.
Right.
Where it's cheap, anybody can get in there, and it makes you feel like you had a good time, you worked out. And some people who are a little afraid to work out, like really big beginners, they feel pretty welcome there.
Yeah, except it's not cheap. It's
No?
What do they charge?
$80 for 4 sessions.
Shit.
Yeah.
But for group classes, $20 a session. That's not too bad.
For what's that?
For the Orange Theory. If you're paying 80 for
if you're
4.
doing session per session, but I mean, think about it. If you're gonna go try to do that 2 or 3 times a week, compared to like a regular gym membership, it's rough.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
I pay $15 a month for my gym.
Yeah.
Where do you go?
Now at Crunch Amityville, but I'm still at 24 LA and technically Crunch Belmore.
Okay, a little bouncing around. I got to get you over to Bev's.
Another one?
Full time.
When you work in the industry for almost 7 years now,
I get it.
Yeah, but
I get it.
You're different because you network with athletes and things like that. I mean, I do too, but I just stay away from the bodybuilding side as almost as humanly possible as I can. So
7 years though. That's how long you've been.
Yeah, it'll
technically
be,
into it.
No, it'll be 7 in July.
Okay.
Full time. But I mean,
There
I was
you go.
working. I was doing like we talked about Chris a little bit. So back when I was 19, or actually probably about 19 turning 20 in college, I was doing branding work on the side for anyone I could.
Was it Ryan Hughes?
Yeah, man, the Blast program.
Dude, I had all of them. I had Blast from Mass.
Hughes, like I rebranded Hughes Fit with him. He was actually probably the first person I did real work with, and then came Chris. You know, I don't think I ever worked with Matt, but Matt really introduced me to the industry.
Matt.
Acton.
Okay.
Yeah, so I used to see him at Shreds all the time, or Shredded RX.
Yeah, man.
And we just like shot the shit, and then he introduced me to a couple people. I think Villa I just met on Instagram and was like, "Hey man, I'll design your logo for a pair of shoes." He's like, "Yeah, I got it, bro."
Sure, why not?
Hey, do anything. Listen, man. You just it's all these avenues. We're very fortunate, you know.
Yeah.
Although it's the industry that we're in, and we have a lot of negatives at times to talk about it because we deal with the good and the shitty side of it at times. But we're very fortunate because it is a pretty close-knit group, and the dudes are generally pretty good people.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've never, to be honest, man, I've never really met anyone in the industry who's just an out-and-out asshole, or I just don't stick around long enough to meet people for, you know, that side of people. But there's a stigma to the industry, like, I mean, especially, you know, competing in bodybuilding.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
How people who aren't in the industry view it. Everything is steroids, everything's unhealthy, but there's, you know, especially on the brand side of things and like the supplement industry, it's cool. You meet a lot of cool people. You network with a lot of awesome, smart people that you probably wouldn't think would be in this industry, but they are. So
Well, that's the biggest thing. You know, whenever somebody's looking at a bodybuilder from a way outside perspective that really don't know what it entails,
right.
they just think we all have roid rage and we're getting mad and we're doing this for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And at the amateur level, obviously that's not necessarily happening, but the intelligence, is it always there? You can see people at the amateur level for years and years and decades even. However, at the pro level, I've never met a pro that wasn't one of the nicest people I've ever met. Every single one of them wakes up in the morning, busts their ass, doing what they love, And they're almost always very, very intelligent people because they have to know all of this stuff about the drugs, the supplements, the food, and how their body works and how to make it work for anybody else to really get to where they are. And people don't respect that enough.
Yeah, and there's a discipline aspect to the industry where people don't respect it. Kind of how, like, you know, to get to being a pro, especially at a bodybuilder, like the sacrifices you have to make in your social life and your diet and things like that. They don't see that side of it. They just see a bunch of juiced up people on stage in a bikini.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's what it comes down to. So that's why it's almost. I like that the whole like influencer thing is coming out more and more with bodybuilders, because like regular people are getting to hear everything now. You know, how they network with brands, how they travel, how they do a lot for, you know, amateurs in the industry, things like that. The things you don't normally hear. So hopefully it's all turning into good things rather than that stigma will slowly go away.
That's one of my favorite things about social media, though, for the bodybuilding industry, is that everybody has that accessibility. You know, you didn't just see people on stage and go, oh, steroids or genetics or
right.
this, that, or the next thing. You can get to people, you get to know people on a one-on-one basis, you know what I mean? Especially some of the videos Nick shoots over here. I remember, who was the one you had on where you did the, like the whole speech prior to it?
Steve Peoples, man. Steve Peoples is my boy. He talked about just getting into body. That's really what and I told you this that time that we met, because we knew each other in passing kind of.
Yeah.
But that's really what I got into. When I started transitioning more into the videos that I work with people, I like to tell stories. And I like, not necessarily a comeback story, but I like somebody that has gone through some shit, because we've all dealt with it and we've all gone through shit. So when I have somebody that lost their mom and they were in the most depressed state in the world, but they turned to bodybuilding and they turned to weightlifting as an avenue and a safe haven mentally and physically, that's the type of shit that I love highlighting. And that was Steve, man. That was my first ones that did a story. Right when he started, and it was the first one, I just gave him a microphone. I said, hey man, I said, just tell me, what got you into bodybuilding? What made it? And he just worked out, and I knew I was going to put this before the video. And he goes, well, I guess it really all started when I lost my mom. And I just went,
oh no.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's hitting me. And I've told you, man, Steve, not only from being in the gym, just being a good friends with me and just becoming friendlier over the years as you grow closer to people and train with them and shit like that. On the holidays, he has a seat at my table. Right. He comes Christmas dinner. He's coming awesome, this Thanksgiving, you know, because I told him, I said, my mom's still around.
Yeah.
We can share.
Yep.
Like, that's my mom's, and she's happy she adopts all my friends. Max Charles, I'll be on FaceTime with my mom, and he'll be like, hello, Mama Karen. And she'll be like, oh, Max, how you doing? She's like, awesome. Everybody's my son. So just meaningful stories, meaningful people that have depth, and that's, you know, I know we say it every episode. That's why we started the podcast. We started the podcast because
you want to know more about it. It's not just
I want to know more about people.
And,
you know, it's great. It's great that I look at your Instagram and I see that you're obviously in great shape and you work. Stop it. And listen, I had to get lined up today because I couldn't get totally outshined over here.
That's why you put me on this side of the table.
That's exactly why I said the other side. But we just want to just get to know people, see what experiences they've had, what they're cooking up, what they're doing, what makes them different. You know, we had Nick on last week, which was great. You bring a whole different side of things to the table with not only working with brands, working with people, but especially on the marketing side, where I guess a lot of people are blank in that area. Like it's like a blank stare when you talked about it with you know, certain people.
Yeah. It's one of the parts of like pretty much any industry that a lot of consumers, at least, are just, not that they're unaware of it, but they don't know what really goes into it. They're just, oh, you know, he's a marketer, he does all those things, and it kind of stops at that. So there's a lot of details that people don't really understand. But honestly, man, I mean, like, I'm still learning every day.
Yeah,
you know,
every
single day.
I want you to get into that, but I know we've been talking for a few. I have to have John kick this intro off.
Okay, let's do it.
So, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Voice
and Rizzles. Today in studio, the Supp Wolf himself, my man Greg, and we got my man Pete behind the camera right back there. You can't see Pete. Pete's going to stay anonymous, unless he comes over here. But Pete's going to stay anonymous for anybody watching this video. I want him to be the mystery man. Anytime he comes in frame, we're going to put a mask over him. But that's my cameraman. Just a backstory on Pete. Pete is my man from Apple. We were real tight when we started working together over at Apple. Obviously, this is years before I was doing any video stuff. I believe he was dabbling at the time, were you? Okay.
We got a head shake.
You could talk. I mean, you could talk. Okay, so he went to school for it. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Worked at editing houses, one of the top players, especially in the lacrosse world for videos. So Pete and I have worked on and collabed on a lot of videos together in his realm. And I'm looking forward to collabing more with him down the line. And he's obviously here today to help us shoot a little bit more better angles and quality for the podcast. But the main guest. Enough about Pete. Stay over there.
Nice.
So, Greg, man, good to have you in. I know we chit-chat a little bit already.
A little bit.
But why
I
don't
appreciate
you-
you guys having me on.
Yeah, dude.
No, of course, man. Happy to have you.
Yeah, my pleasure. And you brought goodies, so I
did.
appreciate the fuck out of you for that.
Yeah, I said I was going to come bearing gifts, so I figured bring you guys a little bit of protein, a little bit of pre-workouts. Obviously, anything you really want, I'll bring it whenever.
I appreciate that, man. I never like to ask, but I do appreciate that. So tell me, what do we got over here? We got Lean Way, and now this is with Muscle Sport. This is who you currently are with, right?
Yeah, so I actually work for a group of brands. So
Okay.
a lot of people don't realize that some of them are affiliated. I work for technically Elite Sports Distribution, which is kind of a distribution company that we created after the brands were already rolling.
Gotcha.
So we manufacture everything in-house. So we try to stay as vertically integrated as possible. We started with the brands, and I came on in, I don't know, year 2 or 3. And after, I think it was maybe 2 years of me being there, we started another brand. And we're like, all right, let's try to hit a different channel with this brand. And then we just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. So I think now we're at about 9 different brands all in.
Shit.
Wow.
Yeah, working on 10.
I thought it was the 3. Honestly, I thought it was just the 3 supplement companies.
No, yeah, we're at 9, going on 10.
So are you allowed to disclose the other brands that you guys have in-house?
Yeah, so
okay,
we
yeah.
Let's hear
are,
it.
so from the top down, basically, Muscle Sport is obviously our flagship. That's the one that's been around the longest. It's the one that's the most successful. It's the most readily available. Then we have Kodiak. We have Purge. We now have Archetype Nutrition, which is a keto brand. I'll get into that later. Where are we at? We have DNA Pharma, Vitacore, Modern
shit.
Warrior. There's definitely a couple more than OptiTune.
What's OptiTune?
OptiTune is basically a vitamin line. So it's a lot of single ingredients, simple complexes. We're working on basically building it into an Amazon brand.
Okay.
All right.
So, I mean, just a quick background on Muscle Sport.
Please, yeah.
My CEO was in manufacturing for, I believe, 10 years or so, maybe a little bit less than 10 years. And he was part of the manufacturing group that actually started Total Nutritions. So
Okay.
they were the manufacturing group that started the Total Nutrition franchise. They're the ones that started the first couple of stores and franchised it out. They're the ones that are behind the house lines that were in Total Nutrition. That manufacturing company has since dissolved, but that's how he got into it. So he was passionate on the manufacturing side. He was into flavoring, like that was his thing. He used to just lock himself in the lab and go through different flavors and formulas and see what works, what didn't, and how to cost things, and like the sweet science behind actually making a product.
Yeah.
So
The R&D.
right, so that was always his passion. So he started his own line. I believe it was actually 2008 or 9, but he was still working at the manufacturer. And when you start your own thing, when you're kind of working somewhere else, eventually attitudes start to clash. You start putting more focus in certain areas, and the relationship ended up not going over so well. He ended up doing his own thing. So year 1 of him doing his own thing, it was him, a couple people in manufacturing, and then he had a VP of sales. And that's when I started, is when there was basically 3 people on the corporate side of the brand. But just a little background on the actual company itself, the business model is a little weird. So we were one of the first and probably one of the most successful at making a brick and mortar brand. So we wouldn't sell online besides our own website, and we'd sell pretty high. We wouldn't allow any other stores to list it online. We wouldn't be on Amazon, wouldn't be on eBay. We'd try to police those areas pretty hard. And because of that, we would get support from local retailers where if you're walking into a Total Nutrition and you're like, hey, let's just go with like Cellucor. And you're like, hey, this C4 is $29.99 here. I can get it on Amazon for $24. Obviously, as a retailer, you don't want to lose that customer, so you're trying to price match, and you're digging into your margins now and different things like that.
It's hard to keep up with that.
Right, yeah, it's hard to keep up
impossible.
with that, but you have to have it because everyone's walking in asking for it. But we wanted to be that brand that delivered that same kind of thing. So we have 180 SKUs. So that's, I think, 88 products and then flavor extensions on top of that. That's just with Muscle Sport. So we wanted to basically be like a grocery store and have anything for you guys, but you also don't have to compete. We'll sell high. We're not going to compete with you on our own website, and we're always going to support you with marketing, demo support, things like that. So that's how the brand started. We've maintained that for the last basically 9 years or so. And up until this year when we landed Vitamin Shop, which was the first actual
was awesome.
public website that we're listed on. So
That's awesome. Congratulations on that.
thank you, man. I appreciate it. It was a long time coming, but it's fun and stressful, interesting.
I'm sure, man. So now, what was the reason to having so many different companies underneath Muscle Sport as, I guess, the crown? So you have, when you look at Muscle Sport's a supplement company.
Right.
And then you look at Kodiak and Purge, those are supplement companies as well. So
Right.
what was the thought process? Obviously, you said different markets.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people, especially in terms of marketing and just selling in general, they try to talk about something called omni-channel, which is just multi-channel essentially. And I don't think a lot of people know what that really means or how to do it correctly. But if you are going to be omni-channel, you really need to have multiple brands to put into channels specifically. So Kodiak was the first additional brand that we decided to put on there. And the reason we actually decided to even develop Kodiak in the first place is Muscle Sport in 2015 started to seriously take off. You know, we had bodybuilding.com contact us, GNC, Vitamin Shop, and we knew eventually that like all these retailers across the country that were super loyal to us, we would have not to use the word sell out, but we would eventually have to expand.
Yeah, the growth would be
Right, and there's only so many mom and pop retailers in the United States that you can sell to before you start selling to the guy down the road, and then that retailer gets pissed, or you start selling to this guy and he puts it online and it becomes a mess. So we wanted to have something in place to say like, all right, look, we're working on expanding Muscle Sport. Muscle Sport's going into Vitamin Shop or GNC or whatever it might be, or we're going to throw it online. But we're not going to leave you guys hanging because you guys have built the brand in your area. So we want to develop other lines to kind of fit in there and do that. So the competing lines, I guess, you know, Kodiak, Purge, Muscle Sport, they're all the same. They have proteins, pre-workouts, BCAAs, vitamins, things like that, fat burners. So those were kind of just placeholders for when the next brand levels up. And different areas in the world. So like Australia, we have a couple different distributors, and we'll give Kodiak to one, Purge to the other, and we try to avoid the competition.
Diversify it.
Yeah,
Right.
It's tough because I mean, if you've ever spoken to anyone, and I don't think you got into this with Nick last week, but if you've spoken to anyone in the supplement industry, it's super competitive on the retail side. A lot of backstabbing, a lot of brands that'll just sell to the guy next door.
Sounds
a lot
about
of
right.
yeah, it's just I mean, and what happens because of that, the brands are forced into kind of like a price war. So who can make the cheapest product? And then obviously quality suffers. So we're trying to figure out a way around that without sacrificing quality, without sacrificing things like innovation, and trying to still be fun and support the people who are selling our products while still supporting the end consumer at the same time.
So it's like you're making your own competition to keep the quality up and be able to keep the mom and pop shops kind of going.
Absolutely, because
That's
I mean,
awesome.
you have a specific amount of shelf space in your store, right? So your customers want variety. We'll give you variety, but you're still doing business with us.
Yeah.
So
And different flavors across all the brands.
yeah, we actually don't have one formula that's exactly the same in any product.
So they
under the
change
same
between
brand.
each
great.
one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And so now, which one's your favorite? I guess because I get that you have three. Say you have three pre-workouts to choose from. Which one's your go-to then?
So Kodiak's like my baby. Kodiak is one of those things where our CEO kind of told me, hey, I want to develop this second brand and just run it. And it was 100% me and my VP of sales kind of thought up a name in the conference room. We were just talking, worked on branding 100% myself, worked on product names, even some of the formulations, and then we just ran with it, the whole concept behind the brand. And it's like,
that must feel good, man.
It's fun. It's cool. It's definitely fun, like seeing something from the ground up. Especially, I'm 28 years old, so
Yeah, me and
this
you.
is
Yeah.
Right.
So this is my first career in this industry. I started here. To be honest with you, I don't think there's a chance that I'll ever be at another company. So that's just, I kind of live and die with these brands. I put a lot.
Which is
into
awesome because
myself
I was
into
about to say that means that you put blood, sweat, and tears
Right.
into it, and that not only is it your baby, but you'll continue to have a passion into it instead of it just being somebody working at a company. It's like, okay, I've been here a couple of years, whatever. You actually have not only stake but say.
Yeah, stay excited. And like, just when I say that I feel like there's a piece of me in the brands, I mean that like our office gets emotional and we will fight and we'll scream at each other, and it's almost better off than just having like a 9 to 5 clock in where you walk in and you're like, all right, what's on my do list, and then like you end up just being a yes man and kind of doing whatever's there on the daily task. I can never be like that. I'll burn out way too fast. So that's
Well, companies without that creativity, they go under real quick.
oh yeah, and without people driving the passion.
Any company that's not innovating new ideas, trying to push themselves a little bit further, whether it's new flavors, new this, new that, if it's a hobby shop or they're trying to make new products, or they sit there and sell the exact same thing over and over
Right.
again. You'll have your loyal customers, but there's no room for expansion.
Right. There's no growth, and it's
Yeah.
not fun. It's not. And the thing is like with social media being so prevalent as it is now, like you guys kind of see it. When the influencer marketing started, it was really with like shreds. So it was consumers following athletes and just worrying about what they took, and then that shifted, and all of a sudden the owner of shreds was an influencer, and then you got into kind of how the business ran. And now if you're looking at one of like some of the most popular influencers, a lot of them are brand owners or company owners and things like that. So there's like that whole like cliff between end consumer and how the business operates is closing. And I think that's a good thing. I think it's going to force brands to be more transparent. I think it's going to force owners to be innovative. It's going to force people to create a culture within their company that's interesting. Because if it's boring on the inside, it's going to be boring on the outside. So
It's like I know a lot of people were confused when Shreds started to go under. Because even though they were the spotlight,
I
they
heard
were,
that chuckle, man.
fuck them.
Yeah.
some people were confused.
Adobe, send the check.
But
you
I
know
know who
it's-
the check should really go to.
Oh. Well, it's all right. We'll send out secret disclaimers.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you go.
Yeah, I signed an NDA.
But even though they were the first ones, the quality of the products was not there.
Right.
It was complete and utter horse shit.
Yeah.
So even though they started it, guess who went away? Shreds.
Right.
They're gone.
Well, technically gone. I mean, they're still doing their thing. but-
Shreds, send whatever you can.
They broke up the monopoly. Was that what it was? I didn't really, I don't know if it was because I wasn't really watching any shit like that. I was really just focused in the small circle of bevs.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that, but I didn't really, I guess, not jump on the bandwagon of Shreds, but I never really saw the influence that they had until after it was done.
Yeah. Yeah, well, because I think more people
reach was
saw
crazy.
Yeah.
The reach was nuts. I mean, not to take anything away. I mean, Arvin and his team, they started essentially like the entire influencer model and the digital marketing model that this industry needed. So, I mean, those things happen, and it's sad what happened to the company. It's sad what they did to kind of drive the downfall of the company. But on the digital end and on like the whole like strategy, I was on point. I mean, A+. I know probably 10 to 15 people that worked from there. 4 of them are now brand owners themselves. So
Damn.
It had to be a whole company of innovators.
yeah,
If you really think about it, they changed, the entire marketing scheme. I don't want to say scheme. The entire marketing platform of social media.
right. Yeah, no,
Let everybody else fucking tag onto it a little bit.
yeah, they created a culture. I mean, they were
Yeah.
one of the first that created a culture. If you like, before Shreds and before kind of like brands in that era, it was more in kind of your circle. It was more bodybuilders and it was more magazines and things like that. And I mean, social media was prevalent a little bit before Arvin started what he did with Shreds, but they blew it up. I mean,
Yeah.
they grew. Not only did they create the influencer model, but they created the influencers. Paige, Devin, all those people before they were with Shreds were really nothing. So I mean, they didn't just hire influencers; they made them, which is great.
Yeah.
So I can't take anything away from them.
No, nothing
But the
but
products suck.
nothing but respect to the actual entrepreneur behind it.
Yeah, no,
But-
100%.
Now you learn it's not just your marketing. You got to have the quality too.
Yeah.
That was a hard lesson for them to learn. But
And you
now
gotta not
everybody
lie.
else picked up. Yeah, don't lie.
Right.
Did you ever see a video of like the guy Devin Physique? You ever see his pictures versus the videos?
He's like,
his arms.
I've seen the pictures before the real pictures.
Ooh, see those I'm excited. Those I want to see.
Yeah.
The pictures themselves, they look like my legs, his arms, and in the video
shit.
looks like what do his arms look like?
I've never seen his shit, and I don't want to cut
Yeah,
you
yeah.
off.
No, you're fine. I'm trying to think of something.
Hit that. I want you to tell me what his arms look like.
All right.
I want you to finish that. You're good.
I'm trying to get mean and creative over here.
Oh,
Mean
God.
and creative.
But that's my whole life.
Did you see his shit pop? The fucking chest. Did you see that video of him where he?
Who, Devin's?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Oh my God.
Oh.
This is wild. That was probably the only video I ever saw of him. He was doing chest presses, and he just went down and just you just see his whole fucking pec just rip.
But once it was a fucking ego lift. That was the
Yeah,
biggest
he was
thing.
doing
with
the
it.
one. He was doing the
ego lifts.
120s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, listen, not for nothing, and like some of them train really hard. Some of the people on there are in ridiculous shape, but
Yeah.
I mean,
That being said.
they're all training for cameras. I mean, that's what it
Mm-hmm.
was. Do you know how like the actual setup of Shreds was?
No. I know nothing about it. So you're enlightening me.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Probably get sued, but no. So they
Tell me who to block. I'll block their access to this video.
Perfect. They'll find it. But they basically had a building in Jersey City. I think it was Jersey City, and everyone lived there. So all the East Coast influencers, all the digital marketers, all the graphic designers, all the videographers, all the finance people, the lawyer, they lived in one building, to the point where if they wanted to have if they had an idea at 2 a.m. and wanted to do a photo shoot, people would answer their phones, go downstairs, and do it. I'm serious. And
It was an apartment building.
Yeah, it was an apartment building where I believe Arvin had the penthouse. Beautiful spot, by the way.
Sure.
Part of everyone's salaries, from what I know, was like they got paid to live there. They paid all their living expenses and things like that. So, but because of that, you were kind of on beck and call of whoever your supervisor was.
Imagine you had a chick over and then just like they kick the fucking door in. Photo shoot now! It's like, oh my god. Okay, I'll go downstairs.
From what I heard, that's how the culture was, man. I mean, I don't know.
Bring the girl.
Yeah,
Bring the girl.
Bring the girl. It's a porno now.
She's good. Bring her.
That's a different part of the culture.
She's sponsored now too.
Yeah,
Turns into
it was
fucking
that easy.
Oprah Winfrey. You're a sponsor. You're a sponsor. You're a sponsor.
Everyone's a sponsor.
That we talked to Nick about a little bit about that. I want you to touch on that. Do you get that a lot? People just looking for sponsorships and to become
100%.
all the time.
From how many brands? I can't imagine how many messages you guys get a day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh my god.
Nick's got to deal with one.
Nobody's emailing the distributor.
No.
Yeah.
But I'll be real. The only brands that we have that are prevalent on social media right now are Muscle Sport, Kodiak, and Purge. So those are the ones that get reached out to the most. And I mean, I get from the most genuine messages to the funniest. And I mean, the funniest were like, look, this is a slight PSA to everyone out there. Whoever emails a customer service email or a sponsorship email or whatever, a human reads those. Yeah, because no, really,
Yeah,
I have to say.
I know.
Because I read a lot of them. I do a lot. I mean, I'll tell you how slim our team is in a little bit, but I do a lot of I answer our customer service email myself sometimes, and if we're out of stock on something, I'll send an email. I email it out to everyone, and
Right.
people will just literally be like, "Yo, sponsor me, bro." And I'm like, first of all, you have 600 followers. Your thing's
Done.
private.
Absolutely.
And and it's I'm such a sarcastic person, so it's so hard not to just respond and be like, you know what? Where do I send the check? and just drag it on for hours.
It's like Ted. Right?
Yeah.
He says the most absurd shit. He just goes, "You're hired."
Yeah, exactly. That's literally what it's like. It's like, you know what?
That took guts.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's
Oh
like,
my God.
But then I'll get legitimate resumes, and it's awesome to read some of them where they really try to sell themselves, and I'm like, and I have to reject some of them. I have to tell some of them our affiliate program's not up yet or whatever it might be, and it's just so funny because people really will do that, and the customer service emails are worse. It's like, oh, God.
Give me one. Give me one. Just give me one.
I'm gonna read one.
Yeah. I want to read one. Get it right now.
People think that we're Amazon, and I get it because most people are used to that type of customer service, I guess. But they're they'll place an order at 9:30 p.m. on a Sunday and email at 6 a.m. on Monday and be like, I didn't get a shipping confirmation yet. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not in the office yet.
I'm still in my jams. Can you leave me alone?
We have 30 people that work here, not 30 million. So
Yeah.
it's just funny. It's funny seeing how I love how businesses operate. I don't just love the marketing side of things. I love diving into our operations. So it's funny seeing every aspect of it, down to the problems that the warehouse goes through, to customer service, to how people DM us on social media. And I don't know. A lot of people on social media just don't expect a response. I give it to them usually.
Oh, I knew you would.
100%.
You gotta.
It's my own entertainment.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta. That's
what makes work
the
fun.
transparency everybody wants, right?
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
you go. You got it.
We have. So I'm just gonna dive into one story.
Oh, please.
Just because it's hilarious.
Do it.
God, I don't know if I take a picture of it or not. So, we just started text message marketing. We're not really a direct consumer brand. I mean, our website does maybe 2 or 3% of our total sales. It's super small, but part of my job is to make that side of our business look big.
So where do you do most of your business then?
Wholesale.
So who's one of your main clients? I guess Vitamin Shop.
Well, I mean,
at this
other
point?
than Vitamin Shop, we sell to about 30 in the United States. We sell to about 3,200 mom and pop and small chains. So
That's
Complete
phenomenal.
Nutrition,
Yeah, that's great,
Total
man.
Nutrition, or Joe's Discount Nutrition in Iowa.
Cool.
We also have international business. We're in 123 countries right now. So that's where our bread and butter is.
Doing
That's
your
what we're
fucking
doing.
thing.
Right. So it's great, but where the market's going and kind of where the industry's going specifically is it's going more digital. You'll see more brands starting to do their own sales. Like you look at Redcon, you look at Rise.
The buy now. The buy now feature right on Instagram.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we're all lazy. Dude, I spent $15 last night to order an ice cream sundae to my door instead of driving to Ralph's. And I live 4 minutes from Ralph's. So, I mean, and the sundae's like $6. I paid more in delivery fee and taxes because I'm literally that lazy. That's what everyone is. I mean,
The convenience of having to walk downstairs, walk to the place, or walk to your car and then get
I don't
in.
even want to start my car.
That's versus, oh, it's here. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm half mad that I have to go down and let him into my apartment building. Like, just come up.
Just come up.
So that's Grubhub doesn't do that. They stay in their cars. But so yeah, I mean that's where it's shifting. But we just started text message marketing, and I don't like to annoy people. I don't like getting texts like 400 times on say, oh, there's a BOGO 50. No. So what I'll do with our broadcasts is I'll only send one out if we're dropping a new product or if we have a really incredible sale. That's it. So you'll get maybe one a month from us. I don't want you opting out. So, but we do abandoned carts. So abandoned carts means if you go to my website and you put stuff in your cart and you're like, I don't want to spend $3,000 on supplements, fuck this, and run away. I know that you ran away, so we're going to send you a text message saying that you forgot some stuff in your card, and we'll give you a code or whatever it might be.
I get that shit from Iconic.
Yeah, exactly. They'll all do it. So, Iconic's big with it.
Oh, God. They harass.
The art, right?
I don't mean to jack your story, man,
No.
but they harass me.
Yeah.
Because I want to get the artwork on the walls, and I've been trying to decide what the best one to get is.
Yep.
I'm like, what's a good message, but not like too crazy?
I have one in my car if you want it.
Oh,
It's a Wolf of Wall Street one.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, or a Moneybag one. They're both in my car.
Do you just drive around with that and just have it in your car?
Yeah, I took it out of my office because I wanted to maybe put it in my apartment, and then it never made it into my apartment.
So now it just motivates you on the way to
Yeah,
work. You just look back, you're like, fuck.
You gotta call 5 or have somebody bring it from your car to your apartment.
That's what I should.
Right?
Honestly, that's not a bad gig. That's really not a bad gig. I'm that lazy, man. You'll find out. Like, the more we go into stores, you'll see how lazy I really am. I ordered 13 cookies from McDonald's once, like just cookies.
But
Are the cookies that good that you order them from McDonald's?
No, I didn't want to just get like one.
No, but
If
hold
I'm
on.
gonna order them.
Yeah,
the
you're not
Subway
wrong.
cookies.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I haven't had them in forever. My personal training gym that I went to was right next to a Subway, and I used to crank on those.
They're insane.
Was it the white macadamia
The white
nut?
macadamia, dude. So anyway,
We're all fat asses. Just like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna Grubhub something right now. No,
Look at that bang on the door. What the fuck?
sorry, hold on, guys. No, so we started the text message marketing, and it was this weekend. I was actually laying in bed with my girlfriend. I can answer conversations. So if we send out a text message, it's half human, half AI. So the AI will basically tell me or kind of figure out if someone's asking a question or unhappy, and it'll filter it into a little inbox where I can go then manage that if I want.
which is great.
So I do. Anytime I have some downtime, I'll just hop on there and answer some people. Usually it's pretty good questions like, hey, this is out of stock. When's it coming back in? Or is this going to kill me? Or whatever. This guy thought it was completely automated. And he's like, and I think the automated text message we sent was, hey, you left this in your cart, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, sorry, I have massive diarrhea right now. I didn't get it. So I responded. It was something along those lines. And I responded and I was like, I'm sorry to hear that. We do have a detox item, though. And the dude was he's like, I'm so sorry. I thought this was an automated system. He posted it on his Instagram, and he's like, and I'm like, oh, man, I got to have some fun with it. Like,
Yeah.
I got to keep it interesting, right?
If you book your order within the next 24 hours, we'll add a bottle of Pepto-Bismol for
I was
you.
about to just send one for free, man. That sounded like a pretty serious problem that you had to tell a robot about it.
Bro, I feel for you, bro. Oh my
Should
god.
have been like us too, but you don't see me complaining. Yeah, so
You must get some fun shit.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I've stepped more away from that now because I'm doing, what I would consider just bigger things, and I have to delegate some of the small stuff to people. But
Which delegation's great because you
Right.
start to, get
I'm
into
not
those
like
bigger
that, though.
roles.
I'm not like that. I hate that. So like if it takes me 30 minutes to teach you something, I'm a horrible teacher. So if it takes me 30 minutes to teach you something, but 25 minutes to do it myself, I'm just gonna do it. But it's bad. I mean, as you're growing, that's something that's a flaw that I recognize and try to work on every day in my goddamn life. But
I'm trying to come to terms with that now because as I'm going to be expanding this operation to more people and
Right.
editors and people to handle the invoices and paperwork, so I'm not sitting here
Yup.
slaving away.
Fucking Pete.
Fucking Pete.
yeah, I mean, and because you're a creative, like I got into this doing graphic design. So for me, it's like I know how annoying it is to have someone stand over your shoulder and be like, no, just move that real quick. But then again, when I'm managing my graphic designer, I'm behind him like, no, just real quick.
Yeah.
You know what? And I move his hand out of the way. I'm like,
Yeah, there we
So,
go.
yeah.
That's what I wanted.
but that's bad. So it's one of those things you're going to have to learn to just breathe.
In due time.
But you know what?
Yeah,
at
I'm
least
getting there.
at least you're teaching,
Right.
instead of telling somebody, "Oh no, everything's fine," and then
doing it yourself anyway.
well, no, regardless of that, telling them everything's fine, don't worry about it, and then you come up to them 4 months later.
You
hey,
suck,
listen,
you're
your work
fired."
isn't up.
Yeah.
Exactly, your work isn't up to par. We're gonna
Yeah.
let you go.
Get out. There's an Uber outside. I was too lazy to help walk you to the door. They're going to walk you out.
I just call his desk to fire him. Yeah.
Imagine.
Sorry.
Hey, by the way, I can't get up. Thank you for coming in.
The fade out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's that's why it's, for me, I've been working since I was 14 years old, but I've never had a management position in my life. The closest that I had before muscle sport was being the lead trainer at my personal training gym, which I worked at PTI in Plainview. It's one-on-one.
Oh, you're right by me, man. I'm
Right.
I'm across the street from Ferrari Maserati.
Oh, yeah, it's
I'm
right
on the service
that road.
road.
Yeah, so you know where Cravings is. It's
Yeah.
right in that parking lot. So I was there for 4.5 years, or actually almost 5 years now, but it's different. You're either half hour, 45-minute, or full hour sessions, and it's one-on-one, and you just scream at people. And, there was no happy medium. I never had a client that was like, yeah, they're a hard worker, but they're not like intense. It was either I had the most intense people in the world, or I was a therapist for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
He's,
that's-
how
he's
it
a personal
is.
trainer. That's how he deals with.
I have clients all day. It's either let's fucking do this, or so everything's bad and I hate myself. I need a pizza.
Yeah, 100%.
So, oh boy, hold on a second. All right,
And it's
Dr.
Plainview.
John coming in.
And
I
Plainview.
mean, I'm at East Islip, so it's not,
It's not much better.
It's not much
Yeah,
better,
true.
but yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was a lot of people that had way too much money and nothing to do.
Well, it's like when I was 18, 19, I was the head trainer at a Crunch gym in Manhattan on 19th Street, the flagship. So that was an interesting gym where everybody had money to fucking. Every single person who bought training, it'd be $6,000. Sure, here's my black Amex.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
and
don't
then-
drop that too hard or crack our table.
Yeah. They wouldn't show up. Oh, just start the session. I don't care. Hold on, what?
Yeah, I think our packages started at like 200, and that was one session a week.
Wow.
Yeah, so 4 sessions a
Yeah.
month at 200 or so, and then they worked all the way up to like 600, which was really only like 3 sessions a week.
And did you like personal training or?
Honestly, that job taught me everything I know in terms of how to deal with people. And that's just what it was. First of all,
Yeah.
That's retail. Look at it. Look at the smile on his
Well,
face.
you said you worked at Apple. Yeah, so I mean,
3.5 years at Apple, 4
especially
years at Best
Apple,
Buy.
especially at Apple. I was talking about how people think we're Amazon. Like, you guys basically are Amazon. So yeah. So I mean, it took, when I first started, I had actually one of the best managers I've ever had in my life. Shout out Vinny Graziano. So he basically, my friend was a trainer there for a little while, and I thought what he was doing was pretty cool. I wanted to get into it. It was when I first started getting into fitness and like working out. So he brought me in, vouched for me. I trained. I started to like shadow, and I sucked. I mean, I sucked at talking to people. I sucked at like telling people what to do. And it's really, what I found out like a year in is you don't really have to know more than your client. You just have to be more confident than them. Like, I did know more than my clients, but like, it's about confidence. About like, if you seem nervous when you're talking to a client, they're not going to trust you. It doesn't matter if you do. You can take your NASM exam and pass with flying colors, but if you're nervous when you train someone, it's over. They don't trust you.
And that's business too.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it's everything. And same thing with being a manager. But I mean, one day, basically, he pulled me into his office, and it was like when I was still training to be a trainer, he goes, dude, he's like, do you want to do this? And I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. But I was like 17, so I didn't know, like, it wasn't a real career for me. But I'm like, I want to do this. It's cool. And he's like, well, you suck right now.
Oh, shit.
He's like, you're terrible. He's like, and if you don't get better, you're not going to be able to do this. And I'm like, all right, cool. And it was just like a wake-up call when you're 17. I'm like, fuck. Like, it was like one of the first jobs I had where I'm like, had a little bit of passion. I worked for a pizzeria. I worked for dry cleaners.
Was the pizzeria in Plainview?
No, the pizzeria was.
You don't think of Bella and La
yeah, right
Piazza?
right behind us. No, I mean, I grew up most of my like teenage and adult life in Seaford, so I worked around there. I worked at dry cleaners in Wantagh.
That's where I'm from. I'm from Seaford. I live in Seaford, yeah.
Where?
You know where the Manor School is?
Yeah.
Yeah, right across the street.
I'm south. I'm almost Wantagh. You know where Cedar Creek Park is? Mm-hmm. Right there.
There you go.
That's where I grew up. I'm at Gray Bar now in Amityville, though.
Okay.
So.
Smallest fucking town in the world.
Amityville?
No,
Or
Seaford.
Oh,
Seaford.
Yeah. I mean, well,
There's nothing.
growing up next to Massapequa, where their senior class it has more people than your entire school does.
Yeah, it was insane.
Nuts.
I think we graduated with maybe 300 people.
Yeah, I think my graduating class was like 235, something like that.
You graduated from Seaford?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
09.
Oh, shit. 14. There we go.
Oh,
Fuck.
you're younger.
Oh, yeah, he's way younger.
Oh,
man.
yeah. I'm 23. I'm a little.
Don't let the
baby
voice.
boy.
Don't let the voice
the beard.
throw you off.
You know, I shaved like 6 months ago, and it's starting to come in now. So
Stop it.
No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say you better stop it.
I'm bad though. I really can't grow facial hair. That's why I was pissed to come on when you were here. But it is what it is.
It's all right. We're gonna.
Sorry, I'm usually
we're gonna
here.
mask it out. We're just gonna put
I'm usually
a
here.
bald chin on
Just
it for him.
After Effects. Just put like a huge. Like,
Well, you ever see
Johnny
those?
Bravo
You ever see
chin.
those Beardo hats where it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a little beanie when it comes around?
yeah,
We'll get you one of those.
Thank you, please. Seriously, anything at this point because it's like I look like I'm 9. But yeah. So I mean, that's I guess a little bit about my history.
Little spiel.
go.
When did you get into the bodybuilding scene? Because you obviously were personal training.
Yeah. So
So
well,
then I guess there was a switch from that into the supplement and bodybuilding world.
Yeah, so that's not really how I got. All right, so I was reaching out to people like Chris Villa or anyone who was kind of like Instagram famous at the time, or what you consider Instagram famous, or like an influencer before the whole shred scene. And I was like,
And this is what year?
oh god,
Probably like
probably
13?
probably 12 or 13. I was still in college. Probably closer to 12, honestly, or even.
That's when
before
Instagram
that.
like first popped off.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
when it started getting bigger, and it's when I was in college, I was taking for most of the semesters, I was taking 18 credits. I did a 4-year program at Farmingdale for visual communications and marketing. So graphic design and marketing is a fancy way of saying it. I was taking 18 credits. I was working as a personal trainer, and for a period of time, I was actually a pizza delivery guy and a personal trainer at the same time. So I was just trying to make as much money as humanly possible.
Bank it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what I always loved making money. I was doing in class, like I hated school. I literally always hated it. That's just what it is.
Thank you.
And whether it was like an ego thing
too,
where I
though.
thought I was
Oh, yeah, I hate it.
better.
There we go. One more.
I don't want to brag,
Yeah,
but
one
I
more.
dropped it after my first semester.
Fuck yeah. I mean, dude, listen, I mean, I'll be real with you. No offense to Farmingdale State College or anyone who has a degree. I started my full-time job at Muscle Sport before I graduated college.
Yeah.
Without a degree. I didn't need it. It was good. And I'll be real with you. Like, I've talked other people into going to school just because I think it's a great way to learn how to deal with other human beings.
Yeah.
And kind of like,
Nice foundation.
yeah, and not even for the piece of paper. I mean, look, you're going for med school or law school or something like that. You need it. It's
Something you can't
whatever.
avoid it.
Right, but you go to business school. Not everyone needs an MBA.
Well, that was my thing. I was going to Pace University for my MBA to go open up my own gym.
Right.
I realized real quick I'd leave a degree and a resume I'm not going to use, drowning in debt, trying to open up my own business, and that it wasn't going to happen. So I said, you know what, hold on, let me leave, figure this shit out. And I was in Manhattan at the time. So that's when I got hired at the Crunch Gym, 19th Street, and became the top trainer there in about 6 months.
Yeah.
After that, you know the Dot Fit products.
Yeah.
Complete shit. Terrible product.
Right.
Dot Fit, don't send the check.
Don't send the check.
Don't send the cease and desist either.
That's fucking awesome.
But I was good at selling it because it's pretty hard to fuck up a multivitamin, a vitamin C, and a joint support.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Oh no! But I would sell those.
We're coming back to that for you.
Yeah. And after that, I'm like, hold on a second. If I can sell this shit I don't believe in, I can sell my own stuff pretty well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So then I had my supplement company for a little bit. Ended up selling that, and now we have the Pump House. You know, always keep myself busy, but I had my businesses running before I had friends graduating college with all the debt. If you want to be in the business field, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you're going to get way more out of self-education, especially with today's day and age.
Guerrilla learning. Good job.
But instead of wasting credits and thousands of dollars on Greco Architecture 101 to get your MBA, you know, these little side credits, it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, and to be honest with you, what I would do, I wouldn't pay attention in class. So if we had a school project and I didn't know how to do it, I didn't listen. So I'd go home and YouTube how to do it. And to this day, I'll still do that. I had a habit of, and it got me into trouble a couple times, but I always had a habit of saying yes to everything. Like, hey, can you do this for me? I wouldn't even hear what they asked me to do. I'd be, yeah, no problem, I'd do it. And then I'd go home and I would stay up till 4 a.m. learning how to do it so I don't look like an asshole. So that's kind of how I learned everything. So where I was getting at before was when I was in class and not paying attention and trying to make money, it was when crowdsourced design first started coming out. So there would be website. Now it's 99 Designs is a big one. If you want to get a logo for cheap, you go on there and you basically have a bunch of people who don't value their own work compete for your business, and your business is a $200 logo, which never used to happen.
We did Fiverr for the podcast.
Yeah, we Fiverr.
So Fiverr's
Yeah.
a little different because Fiverr, at least you're picking one person and you're working with them
Oh,
directly.
they hit you up with a million.
No, not even.
Yeah.
So what you do is
Wow.
you'll start a contest and you'll say like, hey, I have a supplement. It's called Attack, and I need the label designed, and it needs to say this, this, and this. I like these labels. These are, you basically create a design brief for them. and then you have hundreds of people enter their designs for no money, and you pick one to win, and you only pay that one.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's really like it's hard because now I'm a brand manager where like those things are valuable to me if I need them. But as a designer, it's like fuck. Like I used to work for free so much. So I used to do those before it got competitive. I used to do those logo contests when I was in college, and that's how I made a lot of side money. $200, $300, $400. But like you win 5-6 a month when you're 17, 18 years old. It's not bad side money.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
that's how I learned a lot. That's how I learned a lot of the programs and just like the Adobe suite. I used to do video editing too for a little bit. More for fun than professional.
Yeah,
but-
it's awesome still. Listen, anybody that dabbles in it, you don't have to be a fucking pro. You don't have to know every nook and cranny of the system. As long as you can, like I say, put a story together and get some good footage. That's it, baby.
Yeah, and like what you were saying, like if you're not, like you said, you kind of like if you could sell shit that you don't believe in, but isn't it so much easier selling shit you do believe in?
That was my whole point.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. So that's what I
exactly.
mean. Like it's the passion and the experience is more important than the MBA,
It's-
right?
Yeah, let me
So-
take the skills that I know I apparently have
Right.
and put it into something I'm passionate about.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
You know?
no, absolutely. And if
Yeah.
you don't have the skills, they'll come. I mean, to be completely real with you, when I started at Muscle Sport, I was doing everything. I was doing, I was entering orders, invoices. I'd go in the back and I'd pack orders. I would do some of like the charging credit cards. And at the same exact time, he brought me on to run marketing. So he's like, we didn't have a Facebook, we didn't have an Instagram, nothing. So I just made it. One of the first things I did was rebrand Muscle Sport. So, I mean, I was just doing everything at that point and trying to learn every avenue of the business, which I think now, almost 7 years later, is great because then when there's an issue in shipping or logistics or operations or whatever, I'm not the asshole that's like, well, just fix it because I need this to ship out. It's like, all right, I understand because
You've had a hand in everything.
I was there
Yeah.
at some point, so maybe this system would work better. And obviously, it's different. And you step away from things for a while, and it becomes a little more foreign, obviously. But it's always nice starting at that level.
Yeah.
That's why it's cool starting your own thing like you guys have.
Thank you. But it's kind of like riding a bike. You'll look at it, you go, hold on a second. I might not know all the hotkeys anymore, but this is what we got to do. This is how we got to get it done.
Right.
They'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, boom, 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 done.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Next-
as long
next
as you know
problem,
like the
everything's solved.
general scope of what's going on, it's a lot easier to solve the problems. And there's a lot of problem solving to be done, especially in a small company, which I still
Oh, yeah.
consider us a small company. So
What are the I guess next couple steps for you guys? Where are you guys going? What's something cool that you guys are working on that you could talk to me about?
I can talk to you about pretty much anything. I mean, the one thing you probably don't know, but our CEO he's like I said, his passion was kind of like creating and doing those things. So one of the reasons like me and my CEO work really well together is because his mind is everywhere. He wants to create this, he wants to do this flavor, he wants to do this design, and kind of my job and what I do well, I think, is put that into like a cohesive package for consumers. So he's constantly creating. I mean, if I told you right now the different products that are sitting on my desk in terms of like samples and things like that, you'd be like, there's no way. That's what a normal company drops in a year. We'll probably drop those all by February. And that's just what it is. I mean, just this year alone, Muscle Sport, not to talk about any of the other brands, just Muscle Sport has four more completely individual products dropping.
Well,
Wow.
you had some the last time I saw you at Meatball Place.
Yeah.
You were it was in development, and I think you guys already dropped them, right? The flavors, the different flavors.
Oh, right, with the Vitamin Shop ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of them.
Yeah. So what
Alright.
what are the flavors? Because that took some crazy licensing too, though.
No. So that fell through.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
we can't talk about that. All right. So fucking.
No. Well, I'll talk about it because it's funny. So,
Because I was excited to see some of those flavors. Those looked
dude.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mock-up that I made, I thought was pretty cool. Fuck it. I mean, I'll just say it. So, shout out to my boy Dan Lorenko, who's the owner of Ghost, has a great relationship with Mondelez. So Mondelez is a company that owns a bunch of different snack companies, and if you've ever seen Ghost, they did some authentic collaborations with Sour Patch Kids. They did it with Chips Ahoy recently,
And they nailed it.
Oh yeah, they
they're
nailed
doing
it.
I've never
They're
tried
doing
any
a
of their
great
stuff.
job marketing too.
Oh, dude, incredible! And
Yeah.
again, it's Dan and Ryan. So Ryan Hughes from the Blast program. So I've known Ryan since I was probably 16. Dan I met a couple years ago. Probably the coolest guys you'll ever meet. Super real, I mean, like everything you see on social media, like that's how they live their life. So just have to throw that compliment out there. But they are one of the first in the industry that started to do those like authentic licensing collaborations. So I threw my hat in the ring with Mondelez, with Oreo, and they shut it down. So they shut it down for no other reason than they don't really want to be a part of the supplement industry. And it brings us back kind of to the start of this conversation with that stigma. So that stigma is not just in bodybuilding. It's when you talk about, and you guys touched on this, which I want to get into a little bit with Nick, how it's unregulated and all this stuff. This is way more regulated, and I'll use that term in quotes, than pharmaceuticals or food. And we can get into why, but there is that stigma about the supplement industry that, they could be made in your bathtub, which is true. You can put a label on anything, you can sell it to any store you want. There's no...
what do you think the back room is for in here?
Oh, yeah. Well, I know. I was going to...
Bring the supplies in, bro.
That's what the back seat of my car is for, too. Like, it's under the posters.
Under the Wolf of Wall Street poster.
I just have, I have a portable sink, and I just make them...
Just fucking
Slop
business,
sink.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. We got reports that someone was cooking meth in this car.
It's a pre-workout.
It's a pre-workout. It's Oreo flavor. Get the fuck away from me. You don't know how we live.
Yeah, and I mean, there are brands like that, and it sucks because I guess it's my job as a marketer to kind of like separate us from those brands as intelligently as possible, but it's hard to do.
Steer the ship in the right direction.
Yeah, well, because a lot of these bathtub brands will have just as good marketing as we do, or Cellucor does, or anything like that, and I look at Shreds.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now, not to get off this topic because I want to come right back to this, but I had this question before. What did Shreds make? Whenever I think of Shreds, I think of Fat Burner. That's all I think.
Yeah, it was
they had super basic supplements. I think it was like a fat burner, a multi, a pre-workout, a protein.
Okay, so they just had the basic line.
Yeah, the basics.
But I remember it started with just like a fat burner and I think like a water pill.
Yeah, I think the
it was
fat
just-
burner was like their flagship
Yeah.
thing when they first started. I
That's
didn't
the
follow
most-
them when they first started. So
That's the most I
only-
remember from them.
Yeah.
It's just a fat burner. They just pitched it and pitched it and pitched it.
Yeah.
With all these shredded guys, and nobody really saw that type of marketing. They go, well, fuck, I guess they're taking it.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's
Yeah.
what it is. And exactly what you just said. Like, consumers are becoming way more privy to how marketing works every day, which makes marketing super challenging. I mean, how many times do you talk to someone and they're like, oh, man, I was in my living room and I was talking about, heated pillows, and all of a sudden I got an ad for one.
Yeah, because you hear the shit.
Yeah,
the phones are
Yeah.
listening. The search engine is your cookies.
Right. I mean, they're not allowed. Facebook's not allowed to, use your
God.
mic for information. I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works. I know as a marketer from the opposite end of Facebook, when I'm targeting audiences, I don't have an option to listen to your living room. So
Right.
how they build those audiences is on Facebook's end, and that's
How
why
they
make so much
quantify
money.
it and
Right,
allow it to
exactly.
happen is on
Right,
their end.
Right. But for me, I mean, I basically take interests and say like, oh, you're between the age of 24 or 18 and 34 years old, and you like fitness, supplements, diet, working out, and looking good.
Yeah,
you're in my audience. That's it.
The basic Facebook promotions that
Right.
most of the people, if anybody runs a business here, I'm sure you've all tried it and you've gone through that whole little process.
Right.
What age groups, what location, what this, what that.
Yeah.
And then, boom, they just target audience.
Yeah, it's about it. And then, like where it really breaks down is when you start to segment that audience and you start to retarget that audience. And that's how, like, that. Those are the things that people don't see. So, like, when you're talking about something, or you DM me a sponsored ad from Iconic, I'm probably now going to see an ad from Iconic because they know that
It's almost
we've
like a digital
engaged-
thumbprint
So-
that you've put onto that ad now.
Exactly. So we've engaged with that post, and I mean, now it's to the point where it'll happen in the next hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll send you something cool. Like, oh, check out this poster. You'll just like it, and that's all it takes. Or follow the page. And then
Oh, it
that's
happens quick for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
usually
real
just
quick.
yell. I just usually yell cinema gear and camera gear at my phone, and I just hope that something's gonna
Yeah.
pop up that's cool that I
That's
don't know.
That's your FBI agent working for you in there.
Cool with me.
No, it's cool.
Please, yeah. Show
Although-
me shit I like.
That's what I was going to say is people bitch about this all the time. But look, I'm going to go with 99.9% of us aren't doing anything that bad where if somebody's listening to it, who cares?
Oh, dude, I don't give a
And
fuck.
exactly.
I'm boring.
And I'd rather see ads for shit that I want to buy. I'm like, fuck, I didn't think I could have used that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Then, like, if I saw ads for Barbie dolls and tampons all day, what the fuck am I going to do with that?
Which used to happen. I mean, how many
That's-
times you
I-
used to get like ads on the side of Facebook that were just clickbait ads, like, "Oh my God, grow your dick this much bigger," and it's a picture of like a fucking octopus. Like it doesn't matter. Like, that's
You sure you're on Facebook?
Eat the octopus tentacle.
I mean, that's like digital
Yeah.
advertising started with clickbait ads like that.
You know what? Even take it a couple years back, even before that, you look at before digital ads were that intense,
Weren't you like 4?
but commercials, commercials,
Shit.
Commercials.
TV commercials. You know what I mean? 99% of the commercials still to this day because they can't target the audiences that specific. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares about it.
Well, that's my thing. I mean, to me, look, a lot of businesses, just because of the CEOs and the leadership that have been there for however long, they're going to do this thing where like, oh, we're doing this just because this is how it's always been done. Get the fuck out of that mindset. Like I don't want to talk about Gary Vee because I think he's super played out, but he said like the only TV commercial worth ever buying would be during the Super Bowl. Cool.
Right.
Makes sense. Why would, like, you see like Camry, a Toyota or whatever, just like doing like these commercials where that money, I don't know what it costs to buy a TV ad, nor will I ever, because I never will buy one. But I just feel like it's such a waste of money. But it's one of those things where there's so many layers to those big companies, and the marketing department doesn't have to check with the CEO, and like no one who's, I guess, at my level in terms of like my age and my experience has a chance to go talk to the CEO in a room and be like, dude, stop wasting your money on that. Because you can't really quantify, like, you know how you quantify that return? The TV network will say, hey, 4 million people were tuned into your thing. Cool. How many people converted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
I don't
saw
know.
it, right?
Yeah. They used to,
Yeah.
like, when you used to do, like, billboards or whatever, how it first started was people would be up on roofs counting the cars that walked by. And that's how they'd price billboards. Be like, all right, between the hours of this and this, 500,000 cars would come by. And then they would price it that way. That's the same thing when you're doing TV. Cool. So 500,000 cars.
How many people
looked?
How many people weren't looking at their phone?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
How many people went to go take a leak?
What do you do when you're watching? Like, I don't know. Like, for me, I don't even watch live TV.
I
Like,
have
I don't
I have
I don't have
Hulu.
cable anymore.
I have Hulu.
Yeah.
Dude, I have Hulu, Netflix.
Well, I have
like the
Hulu's-
Japanese Hulu. I don't.
I have Hulu. Is that where they're selling that magic dick pill with the tentacle?
the octopus.
Yeah, the octopus
Makes more
tentacle.
sense now,
Yeah,
guys.
I'm getting it now. That's why I'm seeing it
There
so
you go.
much.
That's where it came
the
from.
fuck? Japanese Hulu.
Called me out publicly.
Japanese Hulu, send the check. So
It's in the end.
I have live Hulu, and it's good. I mean, they show you ads and shit, but that's my TV service. And then I also have, based through that, I have Showtime, HBO,
Yeah.
and Stars.
Right.
But I feel like I see way less commercials than I did when I had the Cablevision box.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Cablevision box was not. I feel like 90% ads and just throwing shit at me, even when I wasn't looking. Because how many times are you sitting there on your
that's where I was gonna go
on
with
your
that.
phone,
Yeah.
scrolling through whatever the fuck you're doing, playing a game, looking at new research, answering people that have mad diarrhea, right? Just
Yeah.
and you're just, but you're absorbing. The weird thing is you're not watching it, so it doesn't really sink in, but it does.
You hear it. And
It's
yeah,
weird.
Yeah.
Like it's weird to have just ads running behind your head all the time.
I mean, but honestly, right now, and not one you've seen on YouTube or anything like that. Can you guys remember a commercial?
ShamWow.
No, that ShamWow's been going on for. I mean, a current commercial, a current TV commercial that's pimping a current product right now.
The Old
Can you
Spice.
pull-
Old Spice.
Still, they do those.
I don't know. I don't know if cable.
That's what I
You
mean.
better not be rocking Old Spice. I told you, man.
No, I know. I'm
I'm
not-
rocking Old
swagger
Spice?
on right now.
I'm gonna teach you after this.
Oh my
Hold
god.
I'm gonna teach you.
What we got?
Helm.
Helm.
HELMM. Helm. Send the check.
Was that vegan?
No, it's amazing. Different scents, essential oils. There's no metals or anything in it. It comes in this beautiful leather bottle, and then you just refill it with the cartridge instead of buying a whole pack. And then
Wait,
having
spray?
No, solid. It's dope. Helm. And then
check it out.
last podcast with Nick, we talked about nut butter. Do you know how many fucking people bought nut butter because of
A
us?
lot. A lot.
Wait, which nut butter?
Tame the
Tame the
Beast.
Beast. It's phenomenal.
I'm gonna buy it.
It's eucalyptus, and then they have the.
Eucalyptus nut butter?
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Wait. Hold on. Are we talking about the same kind of nut butter?
No, we're not talking about.
no,
Oh,
you're
no,
talking
no,
about
no.
We're talking about
Nut
on
butter.
jam, son.
Dude, so I just ordered Manscaped.
Oh, they're good.
There you go.
Okay, yeah.
They're good. They have the crop preserver.
Yeah, that's what, dude. I have it on right now.
It's phenomenal. You know what? I'm well versed in it, but if you want to jump on this table and give me a whiff, man. But the nut butter that I get is from Tame the Beast. It's like a eucalyptus lotion. Keeps your boys silky.
minty.
Silky. And then
Really?
then they have edible. So when things are getting intimate, bourbon manuka honey flavored. So it it gives your partner a great sensation, and it gives you silky smooth.
That's not bad. Tame the Beast.
Everybody bought it. I'm telling you.
I know.
I might buy it now.
It's phenomenal.
I gotta wait for my crop preserver to run out.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
I
you
just
just get
got
that
it.
on subscription or something.
Yeah.
But I use their body wash too. It's
Okay.
it's really good, man. I like the shit that's not sold in stores because, like we said last time, I feel like they build those products for margin and mass production. So when you get a smaller company like you guys, blood, sweat, and tears,
Right.
and stake in a company,
Right.
they want to build the best thing. They know they're not Old Spice, and they want to just actually do what it's supposed to do, be healthy for you and
Right.
make you smell good.
The
And-
quality has to be there.
The thing is, dude, it's and not to say that they're not quality, but a lot of that quality is a perception because of the customer experience that they are giving you. So if you think about it, like if you're sold primarily in retail like we are, or like Old Spice, let's talk about Old Spice.
Yeah.
The reason why Old Spice can only reach you two ways, they can reach you on social media, they can reach you on the shelves, but on the shelves, it's just packaging, right? So a direct-to-consumer company like what you're talking about, I'm sure they retarget you. I'm sure they send you emails. I'm sure they send you this and that and trying to...
Now they do, now that I'm enrolled into
now
their
that you're enrolled,
program.
right, that's what I'm saying. But they give you that, they bring you on as part of the brand now. So now they have way more opportunity to kind of build their culture and tell you, like, I'm sure, and I don't know about Old Spice, so don't send the check, but like, I don't know what goes into making an Old Spice, you know, deodorant stick. It could be all Terry Crews armpit hairs in there. I have no idea. But
Maybe I get his gains, though.
you might.
That's how it
Maybe.
works.
That is how it works, right?
It's got to
Yeah.
be.
It doesn't work with the crop preserver. But so I mean that's why I think direct to consumer is kind of the best thing that happened to any industry, because now companies have a direct way to reach you. They don't need to worry about the guy at Walmart trying to tell you which the best deodorant is, which is all they used to rely on. Like, how many people in this industry make fun of GNC? Really? I mean, how many
Yeah, a
people
lot
are
of
like,
them.
oh, look at this skinny 19-year-old trying to sell you a weight gainer? Like, yeah, because unfortunately that's the only way that product gets separated from other products on the shelf of GNC. Whereas if you're direct to consumer, I can tell you all the facts. I can run a video by you. You know, even like MFit. You know, he looks like he's a big face of the brand.
Yeah.
He's explaining the products all the time. He's doing videos. Guy's part of there too. So I mean, like, they're talking about it. They're explaining everything they can because they have access to you. Where if you're primarily a distributed company, you don't have that. You have to rely on your retailers to kind of give that to you. So
Like on it.
right, yeah. So
Oh, no,
honest-
no, I'm not on it. What is it? Optim Nutrition.
Nutrition.
That's what I meant.
Oh, right, yeah.
Optim
So
Nutrition.
because I was gonna say on it's super direct to consumer.
Yeah, they are
but,
very direct to
yeah, yeah.
consumer.
Yeah, Optim Nutrition, and it sucks because a lot of their products are very good, but if you look at they do nothing direct to consumer.
Super shelf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Super-
all shelf.
But
Throw
it's
it on
just,
the shelf, they'll
it's
buy
old
it.
school marketing going, you've been buying this for a while, you're going to keep buying it.
Right, and not only that, it's relationship building. I mean, look, if I come out with a new product, which we're actually coming out with a new flavor of Attack, I'm gonna plug it in a little bit.
What's
because
that? What's that one?
This is rainbow fruit.
What was the other one?
Rainbow fruit.
Ooh, double rainbow fruit.
I wanted it's our best flavor, and I wanted each of you guys to have it.
Done.
Thank you.
I'm
You
using
trust them too.
PD. That's my man right there.
So, if I'm coming out with a new product, I have to work my ass off to sell it, even to our best accounts. You know, our best accounts, I have to say, like, listen, I have to send you samples, or I have to talk to you about how this tastes or what this new product does. A brand like Optim Nutrition, and not to take anything away from them because they're, you know, it's Glanbia.
Build an empire.
Right.
Glanbia is a multi-billion-dollar company. I mean, that's just what it is. They own Optim Nutrition and BSN. So that company basically has to call the buyer at Walmart and say, hey, we're dropping something new in 6 months. And they're like, all right, here's the purchase order. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't know the name. I don't know what it does, but I'm bringing it on because that's what that relationship does. And I'm sure it's not that easy. So please don't DM me and yell at me, anyone from Optim Nutrition.
They're gonna hit the customer
Frank.
service lines because they know that's how they're gonna get him when he's laying in bed.
They're gonna text him.
Fuck, they got
Oh,
me.
you want to talk about diarrhea? Sure. So
Let's wake him up at 2 in the morning.
yeah. Okay. But I mean, that's what it is. And like I said, it's nothing to take away from them. It's just they're so set in. They're a legacy brand, and that's that's how we kind of like talk about different brands. But we're not even close to legacy. We're still trying to build. We still have. I mean, our company and the whole thing is self-funded, no investors, single-owned, family-owned technically. So it's not.
Which
Yes.
Yeah,
kudos,
seriously,
kudos. That's
congratulations.
awesome.
Yeah, I will say, man, I mean, the CEO of my company, he's out of his mind most of the time, but he's in the office until midnight to 1 a.m. every single day. I mean, every single day.
Busting
Like-
it down.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He actually just got back from Olympia Saturday.
He stayed
wow.
out in Vegas.
No, so what he did was he stayed in Vegas for, I think, a couple days, visited a couple of accounts, went out to California, visited a couple of accounts, and then kind of made his way back through Nevada, Utah, went up. I don't know if he went up to Denver, but I know he was in South Dakota, Iowa, Chicago, and came all the way through. So he was visiting a bunch of accounts. He did some sightseeing, obviously, but it was just relationship building, and it was one of those things where we all flew out there. He drove home. So, I mean, he bleeds it. He loves it.
But that's somebody that you want at the helm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
That's
Well,
somebody
if
that
he
you want there.
If he wasn't as crazy as he was, I wouldn't be motivated to work for him. So I mean, it's kind of give and take because there's sometimes where he'll text me at 1 a.m. and we'll have an hour-long conversation, and my girlfriend will almost leave me. But
I'm taking the dog and I'm out.
Oh, dude, just don't even joke. I was with her this morning actually.
Love that dog so
Yeah,
much.
she's the. I was gonna.
I haven't
Bring
even
her.
met her, and I just love her.
Everyone
She's
does.
the fucking
Don't worry.
cutest dog.
At Nova the Pity.
There you go. There you go. The plug
Yeah.
for the dogs.
Oh man, she's the best. But yeah, I mean that's just that's what it is. And who's the CEO of Optim Nutrition?
No,
Nobody
not
knows.
even an idea.
Well,
Not
I
even a
don't know.
guess.
I'm in the
Nobody
industry
knows.
and I have no idea. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. And again, not to take away from them, it's a different business model, but it's kind of not where things are going. You can't start a brand like that now. Like I would be hard pressed unless someone's dumping a shit ton of money into a brand that can start a supplement company right now with nobody behind the company that people know.
As the face.
Yeah, and I mean, not even as the face, but look at Redcon, look at Aaron Singerman. I mean, even him, he's not out there promoting himself as an influencer, but everyone knows it's his brand. He gets out and talks about it. He's in the videos. He's talking about, not only is he in the videos talking about the products, but he's talking about how the company runs and how the culture is and how how much he just posts about his team and things like that. It's awesome. People want to support a brand like that.
That's the biggest thing I found with marketing nowadays is, you wouldn't dump all your money into radio anymore.
Yeah,
Why? Because it's evolved.
Right.
Now, the evolution of businesses that you want to do business with, nobody wants to support the Walmarts, things like that, because why? It's a cold-hearted corporate company for some people.
Right.
However, take MFit, take Muscle Sport, take Redcon. When you're buying their products from the post you see from all the athletes, from the company themselves, it's like, I forgot where I saw it, but they called it the Kardashian effect.
It's a group dynamic. You feel like you're
Yeah,
part of the team almost.
exactly.
Oh,
You're buying in with
100%.
everybody.
So it's not a sales pitch.
Right.
It's a recommendation from a friend. That's what it feels like. Goes, well, fuck, you know what? Just take George with Redcon, I guess. That's the first thing that came to my mind. People follow George for a long time. They love what he does. He's a good guy, and he's genuinely a good guy, not just social media.
Right.
People go, shit, George's with this product. I'm sure it's a good thing. Let me buy it.
Right.
They feel more comfortable, not that they're being sold by this company, but you know what? I trust this guy. I trust his opinion, and I take your word for it. I'll
Right.
pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of where it is too. Is you want to, like, for me, I guess, because I deal with influencers so much, and we're not, like I said, we're barely a direct to consumer company, so I don't have anyone on my team that's really like the most well known people in the world. I have an awesome team. The people that are on my team have been on my team since the beginning. We have like no turnover rate. We just kind of keep adding people, which is good, I think, and it's about relationships and it's about kind of like they believe in the product. They want it, like, whether they're getting paid a ridiculous amount or making a crazy amount of commission, they're taking products that they truly believe in and they like, and a culture that they like being a part of. And I think that's like my biggest struggle, but also what I want to do the most is create that culture. But to your point, I couldn't bring on Derek Jeter and pay him to sell our product. I don't think that I would get an ROI. And I know I'm going to get hate from this, but I just don't think that that's feasible. It's not our business model. It's not someone that I think should be representing our brand, no matter how popular and famous he is. Where I would rather take someone who's popular in Bev's gym, who has real friends and takes the time to really hang out with those people and talk to them about what they should be taking, or someone who's educating people constantly. I think that's like, what's the word influence? Doesn't mean take awesome pictures on your fucking Maserati. Like, yeah, you're cool, dude. I know it's awesome. Like, I have a picture standing next to my Lexus. Awesome. But I think I'm also not an influencer. I think an influencer is someone who should be getting on their story and talking about the ingredients and talking to and answering people's questions and influencing.
Bringing depth, not just a transparent, or not just a face, a facade of just sitting there and saying, yeah, I take this, here you go.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and that's where the influencer model started, but those people are going to fizzle out. Like the whole Shreds thing fizzled out because, like, how many times can you see these guys driving their Ferraris? Like, that's cool.
After a while, as happy as you are for them, it gets exhausting. You're like, okay, we get it.
Fake, and that's just what it is. It evolves. Like the whole marketing model evolved, and that's okay. It's okay that some brands will die. It's okay that some influencers, like, what I think is it's Darwinism for marketing. It's like if that's you as an influencer, evolve with it, or you're going to get left behind. And that's just what it is. Like, if you're not going to start actually helping people,
Not
just
even
stop
marketing,
doing what you're doing.
just business in general. It's Darwinism of business in general. Companies go under, new ones come up. The candle was the best thing in the world, and then somebody goes, "Hey, fuck you! I made a light bulb."
Right.
Oh well, all right, never mind.
And that's just
well, I guess I'm out of business.
But you know what? It would have been great if the person who invented the candle then took that and said, "Hey, well, I'm going to create a light bulb that's scented."
There you go.
Like, just evolve. Like, that's just what it is. Now, that's a really stupid idea, so I hope no one makes fun of me for that.
And if they
Or
do,
it's
and it
next
becomes $1
level
billion,
shit.
send the check.
Send the check.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
I want to know why for the or get into the why of the supplements for the regulation. You said you wanted to touch on that.
All right.
Dive in.
God, how do we go about this? So we're not, I mean, in terms of regulated, we're not. I don't have an FDA employee coming to my facility every
Standing
single
over
day.
your shoulder.
Right. Like, and I don't have to create this product and send it to someone to have it approved from market, like a pharmaceutical drug or a food or anything like that. And actually, I don't think foods do either. But we do, like, as a manufacturer, we do have to be registered with the FDA. We do have to be ready for audits. We do have to be GMP compliant, which is good manufacturing practices. So there's a handbook that is literally twice the thickness of an SAT prep book of rules and SOPs and things that we have to follow. The difference between a supplement company and a pharmaceutical company is I don't have the money to put an envelope to the FDA rep that comes to my office. All right? So, and not to talk about pharmaceutical companies or have someone put out a hit on me, but I mean, you have to understand.
Pfizer's coming after you now.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Like if something went wrong in a Viagra test, I'm going to go ahead and say that it's worth a little too much money to let that go public. And what I mean by that is on the smallest levels, like you hear about it every day, class action lawsuits and things like that. That happens in the supplement industry too, but it happens for different reasons. It happens for specific ingredients and things like that. But no one that I know, I mean, there's plenty of people in the supplement industry that are, willfully mislabeling products and things like that, but it's at a whole different level. I mean, it happens. How many people are taking different insulin medications and different, heart pills and things like that? You don't know, but your doctor recommended it. That's cool. Your doctor recommended it, but your doctor also went to a strip club with the Viagra rep at 4 a.m. and got a shit ton of money from him.
Yeah.
So, like, you have to understand that there's definitely levels, and I'm not saying that a lot of pharmaceuticals and things like that are not good for you, because they are. I mean, I've been in the hospital. I've taken, pharmaceutical drugs before because I've had to, and I've trusted them because that's what it is. And you hope that the FDA can regulate that to a level. The problem with supplements is that the FDA tends to make examples out of supplements. So every week now, there's a new ingredient on the banned substances list, and it's becoming to the point where if they don't regulate themselves, the industry is going to go back to creatine and caffeine. And that's just what it is. I mean, that's what's going to happen. There's designer stimulants are being taken off the market every single day. If we went through the processes that pharmaceutical companies go through to introduce a new drug, you need 10 years of clinical studies. You need human trials. Like, starting a company, I can start a supplement company with $10,000. I mean, I can. It's just what it is. I can drop a couple products. I can do guerrilla marketing and not really spend a lot of money on it. Probably won't be successful with a $10,000 investment, but now,
But it's something. It's a jump off point.
Yeah.
Right. So imagine I had to do the type of R&D that's required to drop a drug like Viagra that has a capital raise of $200 million.
Yeah.
It's not the same. So when I say it's over-regulated, it's really over-punished. Like, you guys know what's going on with Blackstone and with that whole situation and things like that. And not to say that those guys didn't do the wrong things, because at the time, I'm sure they were doing the wrong things. But you don't hear that in the pharmaceutical industry. I mean, you have, what's that guy? The guy.
Oh God.
He's got the most punchable
EpiPen
face in
guy?
the fucking world. No,
Yes.
not the EpiPen guy. That's a girl, that CEO. The AIDS medication, I believe.
Yep.
Oh,
God,
Do you know this?
We'll just refer to him
I heard about it.
as
You don't know?
Jerk-Off. I don't know.
Jerk off?
I almost went to a Halloween party with him in the city, but he's like the biggest jerk off in the world. I think he like the Wu-Tang album that was never supposed to be released.
He bought it,
fucking
and then he just
released
played it.
Yeah. He's a dick.
Oh,
But
there he is.
what's his name?
Shkreli.
Martin Shkreli, right? Yeah, Martin Shkreli. That douchebag.
That's what I was thinking of. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, don't send the check.
Don't send the check.
To
Don't even
him.
fucking listen to our podcast.
Yeah, so that guy basically jacked up the price of like an AIDS medication or something like that.
Real
And,
douchebag move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like, cool, wow, great capitalism. Like, I guess, right-leaning, but he's just a fucking dick. Like, but it's legal. So, like, what's worse? Is it worse?
And then he could sit there, and they were berating him with questions.
And he's just
kept,
smiling like a
He just kept
fucking
saying, "Plead the
jerk-off."
right."
Like,
Was he saying, "Plead the fifth? And
yeah.
was it-
See, like, that's, if I'm in Congress, like, I'd be in Congress for 8 seconds because I'd jump over the table and knock him the fuck out. But, like, that's the problem. Like, I can't do a job like that where you have to be that professional and look at someone like that destroys people's lives. But I mean, like, a protein powder, a company can get shut down because a protein powder is, 20-30% off label claim, but this jerk off gets to kill people for a living.
yeah,
So-
legally kill
Legally
people
kill people
because
and
they
sit
can't
there
afford
and
the
laugh
medicine
about it. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, not to compare, it's definitely apples and oranges.
No, but
I think,
it's on
field.
its own level.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, and I just want to, like, to the people who like are nervous to take a supplement and just have that stigma, because I know, like, when I got into the industry, for the first, like, it doesn't matter how good of money that I ended up making or end up making. My parents are still like, well, you should really, like, be a graphic designer and work for, like, the court system or something. And it's like, the supplements, like, that industry is really, I get it. I do get it. But at the same time, like, people are so afraid of it, where we live in a time where you, me, like, our age, like, if we don't know something, we can do some research and figure it out. Now, there's not a lot of educated consumers. There's a lot of bro science going around. There's a lot of people that go on forums and circle jerk each other with the wrong information for hours. And I mean, you're pretty heavily into bodybuilding, so I'm sure you're on the forums and you know what people talk, especially with gear.
I stay away from the fucking forums.
Bad,
if
right?
I want to learn something, I pick up a textbook.
But the problem is the 18-year-old who's thinking about doing steroids is not staying away from those forums.
They're looking on Reddit for help.
Oh my God, dude. And it's like, you want to talk about unregulated, like, that's the kind of stuff. But people that are afraid of this stuff, like, just do a little bit of your own research.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
it. Look at the back of the label, and like,
Maybe look up one of the ingredients. Maybe look up what it does.
Right, and maybe it's my fault, but as a marketer, but I mean, you know how many people will buy one of our products and they'll, like, come back to me and they'll be like, oh my God, this is a ripoff. It's only half full. And I have to explain the process of, like, you're not buying this on volume, you're buying it on weight, right? So, like, this is a 10-gram serving size. There's 25 servings in it, which means there's 250 grams of powder. No matter what. The bottle could be this big or it could be this big.
Yeah. Well, I remember Celiaco had a product. It was 30 serving, 60 serving. The exact same fucking jar. It just said 60 on the label or it said 30 on the label.
Right.
It was twice the price.
Right.
Why? Because
it's double the powder.
Yeah.
So,
well, that brings up to potato chips.
Oh,
they have all the air in the bag.
I know.
But if you didn't have the air in the bag, you'd have a pile
More
of
expensive.
you'd have a pile of rice. It all gets smushed.
Right. But the thing is like, you're not buying how big the bag is. As a consumer, like, everyone's kind of just, like, conditioned
that's the extra large Big Mac and extra fries and everything has to be stacked out mentality.
Yeah. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, if you feel like you're getting ripped off. Like, how many times people go to Starbucks and they're like, oh, there's an extra quarter-inch in my cup. Can you fill? Like, come on. It's you're buying a certain amount of liquid. You're buying a certain amount of powder or chips, and it's crazy. There's consumers are conditioned now to feel ripped off, which is what it is. So, like, half the marketing battle is to kind of make people feel like they're not ripped off. Like, I got into our business model, which was, primarily direct to consumer, which means our prices on our website are relatively high. This protein, it's a 2-pound protein. It's on our website for $59.99. That's actually one of the more competitive ones. It was at, I think, $69.99, which, not for nothing. I mean, like, I'm not going to buy something that's 27 servings for $70.
Right.
I don't know. Like, so, but the thing is it's not us trying, and then we run discounts. So we have basically everyday low price of 30% off. You can use any of our athletes' codes. We have codes sitting on our website for you. And then sales, we do 40% off, and then, like, free gifts and things like that. You know how many comments on paid ads I'll get from, woke consumers who are like, oh, they just price this really high so that they can discount it and make consumers feel like they're getting a better price, but they're really just ripping you guys off. It's not the case. We're pricing it that high, so we're not competing with the people who are primarily selling our product. But then we're offering you a discount code so you can buy it for the same price. That's it. I mean, that's really, it is as simple as that. It's just hard to get that across in a 75-character post.
Everybody wants to be butthurt about something. Everyone wants to be offended about
Outrage.
something.
Everyone wants a reason to complain.
Yeah, it's outrage culture, man. And it's because of marketers. If you think about it, I mean, really, like, with politics or business or anything, what gets the most clicks? Like, if I'm an intern and I'm running the social media for, the Trump campaign, I'm going to post some outlandish shit. I want to go to my supervisor and be like, look at our engagement this month. Here you go, give me a raise. I don't care what I'm getting the whole, like, I'm starting a civil war, but
fuck it.
That's what it is, but I'm getting paid.
Well, it's like I saw, I think it was Newsday. They had something where it was, I think it was the last election, but it was a title page, and it was a completely different title page for New York and for Texas.
Oh, yeah.
The exact same newspaper, completely different title ads, and, like, very few changes in the text itself.
Right.
Why? But you saw that title, it goes, oh shit, I'm going to buy this here. And in Texas, oh shit, I'm going to buy this.
Yep.
Nobody's outraged. They want to buy it. They want to support it. Hey, look at my engagement.
It's just, and look, man, it's the same thing with news stories, like, not to get into, like, the race thing, but it's like, oh, white cop shoots black man. You do that in a liberal state. You don't do that in Texas. You don't put, like, that's like, cop shoots innocent man in Texas. There's no race.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're talking to a different demographic. And it's kind of that same thing. It could be the New York Times newspaper in Texas. It could be anywhere. It's just a whole different.
It's super fucking annoying.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Super annoying because, unlike a lot of people, we're more intelligent and we can actually use our brain and think about maybe a situation or something that had to have happened, that occurred that brought two people to that point.
Right.
But people just see what they see on the title. They get outraged. They're offended. They take to the streets. They take to social media, and
Riots,
then
man.
That reminds me. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, please.
Nick, I send you the shit from The Onion constantly.
Always.
Okay, so you know it too. So I sent it to
talk
somebody.
about this.
I
This is
sent it
great.
to somebody once.
Oh, they thought
It was
real.
I buddy of mine. He didn't read the article. He just read the title and he flipped the fuck out. It's like, how the fuck can they do this?
And then they repost it. And then they repost it getting mad.
it didn't go that far for me. But I'm like,
It's
dude,
great
hold
when
on.
they do that, though.
I'm like, hold on a second. Read the article. It's a joke page. He's like, what?
Yeah, I mean, and we're in a weird time where like the older generation, like my parents are like 55 and 57 or 57.
Yeah, my
and
mom's
60.
60.
Yeah, I think my dad's actually 60 now. So, like, they're just getting into using Facebook and things like that. So they don't understand, like, we're in a really weird culture. Like, my parents wouldn't understand meme culture. If I posted a meme, like an advanced high-level meme, which a lot of times I do, my parents would think that I'm fucking clinically insane. Like, what does this even mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Bolt the door. Never let him in.
Yeah, like they don't get that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, those fake, sarcastic, or like those articles that are just completely bullshit, they believe those. And not only do they believe them, but they repost them.
It's bad.
It is pretty bad.
It's real bad.
And then it just starts the cycle over and over again. But guess what? That engagement.
That's what I was about to say. The engagement just keeps going up for the original poster or for whoever put that little tag at the bottom of that meme. And
That's it.
Oh, who made this? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to follow them. They're super, super smart. That's what it is. I mean, so that's why I think that with great power comes great responsibility.
Heard here.
Yep. So, I mean, like, as an influencer, like, realistically, it's kind of your job to not just repeat bullshit. So, as an influencer, as a marketer, I think that's kind of on us. Like, it's your responsibility, right? Like, I'm the one kind of telling people what these products do. So, like, am I going to tell you that this 25-gram protein is going to make you look like you? No. Maybe if you lifted a lot of weights and took this alongside it, it's a supplement.
Yeah.
The word supplement describes what it should do. It supplements a diet.
That's what we said last week. We were
Yeah,
saying
it's what it is.
People think that this is the magic serum.
It's in supplement to food.
To food and lifestyle and whatever, right? And that's kind of what it is. If you're not getting enough calories, yeah, maybe take a weight gainer, but you're not gonna take a weight gainer and look like Ronnie Coleman. It's just not
hate to
what
break
it
it
is.
to you.
Like, yeah, it's not even hate to break it to you. It's like you need to do that research yourself and
Go eat a steak.
Right? Go eat 12 steaks a day.
Yeah.
So
Super bad. Super bad. I actually, I don't know why. When I was trying to lose weight in high school, man, my dad used to just, my dad has multiple sclerosis, so it definitely affects his judgment as a parent and an adult. I love the man, but there are definitely some
questionable advice.
some questionable calls that have been made over the years. But he used to just buy me diet pills.
Yeah, see, I mean, it's crazy.
Dude, I'm a fucking 14, 13-year-old kid slamming. I don't know what a fucking dosage is. I'm just taking like 3 a couple times a day.
You don't even realize there's stimulants in there. You're probably tweaking out. Oh, this feels great.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
So awake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously.
I'm so woke now.
Yeah, 700 milligrams of caffeine later, your heart's like on the table next to you taking a test.
The heart's taking the test. That's great. When I was getting ready for my shows, I was actually doing 4 scoops of Mr. Hyde.
Oh my!
A gram of caffeine.
Yeah,
and
that
then
was back when Mr. had like DMAA in it too.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh.
and on top of that, I was taking an ECA stack for my fat burner, and I was drinking a couple of cups of black coffee. I was wondering why I would leave the gym thinking I was gonna die. I would lay down. I went to Montanari Bros because I was at Quinnipiac. So I would walk outside, be trained with Jeff Logan and Evan, and guys, I gotta get right back. I just go lay down in the parking lot, like, what the fuck is going on,
Dude.
Before I knew what a dosing was.
When was the last time you had an EKG?
All the time because my Apple Watch.
I mean,
It would let me know if I have AFib. I honestly, I had
should we
an
alert the authorities?
Apple send the check or some Apple Watches for all of us. I
oh
don't
my
know.
god, I would never wear an Apple Watch.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into that for a second. But I had an EKG a couple of years ago, and it was totally fine, like totally fine.
All right, good.
Shocking.
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, if you continued to do what you were doing for a long period of time, it would
Shocking.
It would have been way more shocking, and waking up in an ambulance.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was not a great point in my life.
you guys know the Wantagh State Parkway, right? All right, so when I first got into supplements, I was doing kind of the same shit. But I was taking
Pounding.
I was taking a fat burner not to burn fat. I was taking a fat burner to see how tweaked out I could get. So like my
Keep itching. What the hell is this?
yeah, literally. My best friend, his brother lived in Long Beach, so we used to go there and party every weekend. You know how Long Beach is. It's fun. So I gave him a Synodrex before we went out.
Synodrex.
I don't know why.
That fucking shit.
Is that the
oh
one
my
with the little
god.
beads in it?
No, that's
No.
Performix. Synodrex is like metabolic nutrition, and I'm not going to get into the company or the things that have
Holy
happened with that. But we took that, and it was one of the strongest fat burners in the fucking world. And he actually pulled over on the Southern State Parkway and threw up.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember.
I mean, like literally outside vomiting. Like I was like, dude, you want me to call an ambulance? He goes, ask me again in 30 seconds. Like
Yeah.
he didn't know if he was going to be okay, and that's just what it was.
They were making some strong shit back then.
that fucking shit. When I was working in the city, there was a time period before I had moved out there that I was hustling. So I was leaving my house here in Seaford at about 4 a.m, get in the gym by, I'd wake up at 4, whatever, get to the gym by 6:37ish, and then I'd stay there until like 10 o'clock closing.
Right.
Then I'd go home. So I was getting 4 hours, 3 hours sleep a night, being on my feet in the gym all day. I'd be taking 2 of those Synodrex a day just to keep me awake. Just popping them like a drug
Like
addict.
M&Ms.
And just drinking Nas.
Dude. Yeah, see, it's crazy, but the problem is I don't know, like when you take a fat burner, or even when you market a fat burner, like, this is the strongest fat burner in the world. Like that's cool, but
That's
just
not good.
don't die. You know,
Yeah, don't kill us, please.
that's
But
Don't kill your end user. They don't buy it again.
That's what's funny with crazy fat burners that people say, hey, this is going to crack you, or it's going to make you feel crazy.
but it's not gonna burn fat.
Right. But regardless if it's not going to burn fat, people go, oh, well, it's healthier than drugs.
No.
If I take a clinical dose of clenbuterol, I know what that's going to do with me. I know exactly what's in that 0.2 grams, that 20 micrograms. It's going to do its job. Not this product that's changed 13 different times, and I don't know what's going to happen to my heart this time. Last time I took a pill, it was this full. This time it's this full.
Yep.
You know, who the fuck knows?
Yeah, if you don't know how to read lot numbers and talk to the companies, you're not going to know when there are alterations or changes or things like that. I mean, like, you know, we do have like kind of recall protocols and things like that if we have to recall an item. But if I change a formula, the marketing will tell you. But I mean, it's really your job to go to the website that you buy it from or talk to the person who's selling it to you and look at the back of that label and understand what you're putting in your body. But it's just...
It's even the temptation factor, too. Where you're going, fuck, I'm feeling pretty good, I'm leaning out, let me take another pill.
Yeah.
But when it comes
that's
to
everything, man.
But when it comes to pharmaceuticals, it's maybe let's not. Maybe they said this for a reason.
Right, which
But
is crazy because the
pre-workout-
warning on this is just as important as the warning on your pharmaceutical label.
Exactly. People go, well, let me take a scoop and a half.
Yeah, like my warning has the amount of caffeine in here. If you know that 300 milligrams of caffeine is a cup and a half of really strong coffee, maybe don't have 3 cups of coffee in one sitting. Don't take 2 scoops.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm super negligent. Like
I'm not. I don't have an addictive personality. I can gamble. I can do anything, but coffee.
really?
Yeah.
Coffee, dude. It's less about the actual liquid I'm putting in my body and more about the routine. I'm unfortunately blessed with a Starbucks on my apartment.
Yes,
complex.
right above it, right underneath it. I mean,
Yeah, it's on the front of my complex. It's actually designed like my complex. It's all like that.
How
So
much money you dumping into that place? You might as well be a part owner at this
insane.
point.
do you? I made that joke to them. So do you guys have any like finance apps on your phone to track your own spending?
I do. I've used Mint in the past.
Mint.
With the business, I have to keep up
Yeah.
with everything.
So I have Truebill.
But QuickBooks keeps
Yeah, I
everything
do
for me.
QuickBooks usually.
I feel personally attacked by my Truebill app because every week it's the same thing. Like, you spend this much in Starbucks. Like, I don't spend any, like, nothing is as consistently increasing as Starbucks. And that's the problem. And think about it. Like, I'm an average consumer of Starbucks, and I get 1 cup of coffee every morning, because I probably post it half the mornings I get it. But I'll get that 1 cup of coffee, which is a nitro cold brew, and maybe on a weekend I'll buy one for my girlfriend if I'm with her, whatever. I probably spend over $3,000 a year
Shit.
on Starbucks. That's crazy. If you're talking, I'm one consumer. So now talk about all the other people that buy coffee like that, or buy coffee for their offices and get these crazy unicorn frappuccinos that are $19 a glass. Like, yeah.
Stupid question. Why don't you just buy an expensive coffee maker? You could just do it in your house.
The same reason that I pay $15 to get a Sunday.
But it's
delivered
right
to me.
there.
Yeah, I know, but it's different. It's
You gotta clean
so
it.
like I said, it's less about.
But you have to make it.
Look, I bought.
Teach Nova to make it for you.
I'm about to. Man. She's smart. So shoot. Oh, man.
Imagine just see her in the morning. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, what's up, Dad?
Yeah. She's too busy waking me up at 7 a.m. every morning. But So I bought Death Wish coffee. I bought the grounds.
Okay.
I ground it up and I made my own cold brew. I did it once. It was the best thing ever. But I did it once. I never did it again because I'm like, fuck it. I just don't feel like even pouring a glass this morning. I'm just going to drive through the Starbucks thing. Well, like I said, for me, it's more about routine. So, like, I'll get my coffee. I'll say hi to the people in Starbucks. I'll drive on the Southern State. And I know, like, at a certain exit, like, that's when I start drinking my coffee. I don't know. It's a weird routine for me that, like, it's more about the routine.
Keeps
like,
you in
less-
balance. It keeps
Yeah.
you. It keeps you.
It keeps you, like, it's just my thing. Like, if I don't have my coffee in the morning, it's not even, I don't even know if I'm more or less awake. I just know that I didn't have that coffee.
And there was one piece out of your routine that was
Yeah.
missing.
Yeah, it was missing. It fucks me up for the whole day. It's kind of bad for you. But
Even just the experience too. Just
Yeah.
go and wake up in the morning. Whenever I go to a store, like I'll go to the grocery store maybe every day.
Yeah.
Just, for me, it gives me something to do.
Fat ass.
That I'm in my prep. Whether it's Trader Joe's, Stop and Shop, but I'll go like, hey, what's going on? I'll always just make conversation with the
Yeah,
people.
you just know the
Because it's a good time. It's hey, what's up? How you doing? You know,
but
it's
if you
just
think
it's
about
experience.
that on a deep level, it's like you made friends with the people at the grocery store because you're there so much.
Oh yeah, no, it's not good. It's
Starbucks
not
knows
good.
my dog. I mean, I have
Yeah, but your
people-
dog's adorable. So
right. But
Yeah.
I mean, I have people that follow my dog on Instagram at Nova the Pity.
Second plug.
That follow Nova and on Instagram, and like I posted about her at Starbucks the other day, like making a joke, and like 3 of those Starbucks employees commented, like, this is bad. Like, my dog's an influencer in our area. That's great. Like, it's nuts.
When I was,
We'll
when
get
I
her on the
was-
podcast
yeah.
next.
Yeah, no
There you
problem.
go.
Yeah.
When I was bulking,
probably
I was
more interesting.
I go to Chipotle, apparently more than I realized, and
It's always apparently more than
it's
you realize.
apparently because one time I went in and they were doing like the surveys, like, hey, can you fill out the survey and the receipt and stuff. The girl goes, listen, hon, you can have it for free. You're here every day. I'm like, excuse me.
Oh,
Fuck.
He's like, just please fill out the survey. I'm like, oh, okay. So they didn't ring it up. He gave me somebody else's receipt. I'm like, oh shit, hold on a second.
that was like me with the
And, they start
sushi.
doing, and I'm not getting, little chicken on salad.
No,
it's
you double
it's
rice.
a double
Yeah.
bowl with
Yeah.
chips and hot sauce, and it's a $13, $14 meal.
The workers start sweating when they see you walking in the door. They're
Yeah,
like,
they're
oh
like,
fuck, I gotta.
What is this guy?
I gotta
5
put.
minutes from closing time.
I gotta put a lid on
I don't know
this.
if we're gonna make it.
Never gonna happen.
Yep.
That was me with
Crazy.
sushi, man. You guys see how much I fucking eat sushi?
Uh-huh.
It's like every day, fucking going in.
You're always posting sushi.
We all have our-
Always.
we
I
all
haven't
have our
lately.
places.
I haven't lately.
Huh.
I've been keeping it.
Where's your sushi spot?
So
Well, apparently it was Vail.
Yeah.
oh, that's my man right there.
I'm
taking any
gonna
pictures.
say this publicly. There is no way Vail, Colorado has better sushi than New York or LA.
Oh, dude, listen.
I was just in San Diego a couple weeks ago. Humble brag. We did go
What were you in
Just
San
saying.
Diego for?
shooting with Jeff Staple.
Oh, Jeff Stable.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Cool, no big deal.
Humble brag.
There was wherever we went for sushi there was phenomenal.
Really?
Better than Vale? Vale was pretty good, man.
You're about as far away from a real ocean.
That's
as you
what,
can be.
dude. We were blown
Your sushi
away.
was flown in.
What did we say before we got there? We said, "Yo, this is probably gonna be dog shit." We're like,
Yeah.
we went twice. No, 3 times. Remember, we went with the group too.
Oh my god.
And how many days were we there? 4.
You guys disgust me.
I think
Around,
I had to see the consistency, and it was consistent.
it was consistent. Around here, it used to be Nagashima.
Yeah, I heard about the place.
Yes.
And the owner stopped or did something.
He follows me on Instagram. He hits me up all the time.
Wait, did you tell me this? Did I hear this from you?
Yes, probably, maybe.
That's
know you-
weird that I remember it now.
I think you said it on the podcast.
I might have said it, but
No, I think
I
you told me when we were in Farmingdale.
Okay.
We-
Yeah,
yeah.
I probably mentioned it to you. I went there with John Meadows. I filmed John all day. He's like, yo,
Was that
what's
when you went to sushi that day?
yeah, dude, it was so embarrassing. Fucking Casey kept going. Casey Fati kept going. Oh, let's go to what is that spot in Syosset? Let's go to Kashi.
Yeah, Kashi.
He's like, let's go to Kashi. Let's go. I said, fuck Kashi. I said, let's go to my spot. He's like, all right. So we all jump in the cars. We drive there.
It's closed.
Dude, I pull in after them. They're all standing in front. They said, well, apparently had the best sushi in town because it's closed now. And I went,
No, but I've heard that from I think someone else too that said it was just a crazy. Didn't you say that he? What was it? That
Scottish salmon because it was more buttery than
my
Alaskan salmon.
God.
Like just extreme measures, getting it from the Fukushima or something like that fish market where they do all the crazy bidding on all the tuna
Oh,
every
yeah,
day.
yeah.
He would get flown directly from there. He had fish buyers over there. The dude was like we would get a chirashi bowl, assorted
Yeah, it's the
fish on
best.
top, tons
Nice
of white,
rice, yep.
but he would do seasonal. So any new vegetables that were in Japan that would come
they'd be on there
here,
too, different fish.
ridiculous. Now
I'm gonna get sushi on the way home.
the new spot's right here in Roslyn.
What is it?
Yuzu.
Dude, Yuzu. I heard about that. You guys have some great restaurants here. Actually, my favorite restaurant in New York is here.
Which one?
What?
El Molino.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know it. Il Molino?
Il Molino? You guys don't know Il Molino?
Nope.
No.
It was in a Drake song.
Really?
Jesus.
It's in Roslyn?
Yeah. It's right in, it's on Northern Boulevard?
So it's is it on Old
I've
Northern?
definitely-
This
I've
is
definitely
technically
passed it.
Old Northern, right on the
Jamie, can you Google that?
fucking Pete. Put the camera. No, keep the camera up.
It's in, it's Roslyn. It's on, 1042 Northern Boulevard.
Okay,
Dude.
so that's up near the Americana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, when I tell you, hands down, take your mom, take anyone close to you and go there. It is hands down the best Italian food on Long Island. I haven't been to every restaurant in the city, so I don't want to call it out, but it's so good. I mean, you eat 13 things before you even see a menu. Like they'll bring
Wow.
out cheese boards, meat boards. It's
I'm a sucker for a charcuterie, son. A little salted cured meat and some
Yeah.
wine. I'm a fucking sucker for that.
it's just the experience. Like I said, it's the experience. It's so good. But
Yeah, that makes it easy. It's right here. And then we got Roslyn Soch.
That place is.
the
I see
burger.
That's the burger one.
You
that
said,
yeah.
Jesus, what'd you say?
I think
You're
I
like,
said I would have sexual intercourse with that burger. I think that was the exact words. I know.
dude, they have truffle
I
fries.
have a weird relationship with fruit. Oh, truffle fries.
But like thick truffle fries.
When he brought me in there for the first time, I thought it was going to be bar food.
Yeah.
Everything
it
I've
sounds
gotten
like.
there was fucking delicious.
Some of the bar food I've had is great food.
Better than
though.
regular
know,
restaurants.
yeah.
It's nice like bar and grill food. Like there's a place in Wantaw called Snaps. You ever been there for burgers?
I think you told me about this.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, fucking incredible, dude. Snaps is great. Like a mac and cheese burger. I'm a big burger guy. Burger, sushi, and actually.
Well,
I'm
if you
just
like
a big
burgers,
food
man,
guy.
dude,
Roslyn Social.
Roslyn Social. I'm going there right after this for the Patriot Giant game.
There you go.
Oh, right. That's tonight.
If you'd like to come watch for a few, I know you got to get home to Nova and Wifey. However,
Wifey can take care of Nova. Nova takes care of wifey.
so then come hang out with me.
I might grab a burger.
I want you to check out my Tom Brady up there. Thank you. Appreciate you.
I'll be taking that on the way out.
He told me, he's like, I'm not coming to the fucking podcast because you have Tom Brady in the room.
You know what? If I got
Pete's
it
a
quick enough-
Ravens fan.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm okay with that.
Lamar's doing crazy.
Yeah, listen, I'm good with that. But Tom Brady, I mean, I don't wish ill on anyone.
Be wise with these next words with my Lord and Savior.
But if the entire team and organization came down with pneumonia, I'd be happy. I don't mean the pneumonia that you sleep it off. I mean
nothing that could-
6 to 8.
Nothing that you could get through with
No,
NyQuil on the
like
road.
6 to 8 weeks of pneumonia, and coming from someone with a starting quarterback who had mono.
Oh, so the hate runs deep.
Fucking right. I'm a Jet fan. The hate has to run deep. I have nothing to cling on to but hate.
That's okay. That's okay. Listen, at some point, it's only right. The Jets will even out and they'll come on top at some point. Maybe in 100 years, I don't know. But at some point, you heard it here first. If the Jets start winning, this is us.
They don't have to be
Yeah.
good. They just have to last the longest.
Yeah, I know.
That's it.
It'll just be them.
So yes,
What did Gary Vee say? Like, I'm a winner. You just root for winners.
is it
Yeah, he said it to
All
a
right.
Patriots fan in some blog fucking thing.
something like that? I don't know.
All right.
But listen, I have the utmost respect for Belichick and the system, but I have to hate them.
That's okay. I accept it.
It's like
I have liked the Patriots since I was very small.
right before they had
Bledsoe.
right?
Bledsoe. And I think I started watching football a couple months prior, and he got hit, and Brady came in. Ooh, what a time to be alive. Wow, did I pick the right team. But
I've been through, 6 quarterbacks? No, Pennington, Favre, Gino.
we'll never let the butt fumble get out of here.
Did I tell you what? So the butt fumble happened when I was on a cruise. I happened to be on a cruise leaving from fucking Boston. So the entire cruise was filled with Patriots fans. My girlfriend at the time was like seasick or nauseous or something, so she was upstairs. I'm like, babe, I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna watch the Thanksgiving game with the guys downstairs. It's whatever. We'll talk some shit.
I gotta show you because I know you don't know this play.
Oh my god! So I'm like, listen, it's we'll talk some shit. It's fine. Jets, Patriots. Honestly, we're 52% against the Patriots all time, which is crazy.
You guys play normally.
Right, yeah,
you
we-
guys play as hard.
It's always an.
I never say
game
we're
between
gonna.
us.
I never say we're definitely gonna win a game
Yeah,
ever.
no, it's just always shitty after that. Well, right now you can pretty much bank on it. But so I'm like, yeah, listen, this will be cool. Like, even if the Patriots win, I'll make friends with some people at the bar. Most embarrassing fucking cruise of my life because I was like the only Jet fan apparently, and every single time I saw anyone, hey, butt fumble, and you know how like. Sore it was. Oh, dude, it's been sore for 3
They
years.
found an open cut and they were just just opening it more.
Yeah, but it was like
Oh,
before I
man.
got to the hospital where they bandaged the cut up, like it was still raw. Yeah.
It was number one on Not Top 10 for how many months?
Years, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it still goes.
Years.
I follow Patriot fan pages, like just one in particular. He posts the butt fumble all the
God.
time, and even me I'm like, okay, I
Yeah.
get it. Like,
No, every
let it
Thanksgiving,
die.
Every Thanksgiving, it's gonna be posted. Every single time.
Well, it's okay. Well, you know how many times I have to see the helmet catch where I just want to
Oh,
just
I
go
know,
like
I
this?
know. Yeah.
Okay, just leave me alone. Just let me die here.
Dude, great organization, horrible human beings, but it's fine.
That's okay. We'll leave that. We'll leave that topic right there.
That's fine.
I want to ask you a question though,
Okay.
and we can end off on this.
All right.
Why do they call you the Supp Wolf?
I call myself the Supp Wolf. It was a
Okay, so
self-giving
I didn't know if it
name.
was
No.
like a. I didn't know if it was like a. Oh yeah, he's like dealing these supplements.
No, it was
the
it was
wolf.
like I guess it was kind of like an inside thing like at the company, and then I was just like, I need a new Instagram name because it was Muscle Sport Greg, and I like for me my favorite animal other than a dog is a wolf. I think it's cool as shit. I think just the way that the packs work and the way that like the leaders sit in the back and kind of protect the rest of the crew. I love the way wolves are. I think they're the closest thing to dogs, and obviously you know I'm a dog guy. I've had 3 rescues, so I have a wolf tattooed on me. I just thought it was cool, and you know, like the Wolf of Wall Street kind of thing was going on, and
Power.
You know, and I felt like the whole supplement industry was like missing that. It was missing that kind of like swagger with it. So
Little
that was
edge.
Cool. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was a cool name. I tied my favorite animal into what I do for a living, and that's it. Self-given nickname.
It's dope.
That's
I
all
like
right.
it. Straight
Yeah,
up
there's nothing
with
wrong with that.
I like it, man.
Yeah. So I mean that's it.
We hit a lot, man. I like
We
that.
did.
Yeah, this is a good
You
one.
were fucking excellent. I want to preface that.
Thanks, dude.
You threw a little jab in there, like, oh, I'm sure the dog would be more interested. Although she would be gorgeous to look at the entire
definitely
podcast.
better
yeah.
looking.
However, you were fucking excellent, man.
I
It was
appreciate
so
that.
great because obviously I met you that one time at the bar quick, but we knew each other in passing
Yeah.
through just
Industry.
like social and industry and stuff like that. And really awesome to hear you speak, connect with us, talk to us about not only what you've done in the supplement industry, but what you're doing and
Right.
going. And it's just awesome to hear the background story of a company that you have a say in.
Yeah.
And it's nice to know that somebody who's got a fucking brain is actually putting the right stuff in play. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you for coming on, and I know John will say his little exit.
Yeah, no, man. Thank you for coming on. It's kind of like what Nick said. It's nice to know that somebody intelligent is truly behind the helm of these new products coming in.
I appreciate
You know,
that.
you put Muscle Sport on the page, on the book, to where it is today. Kodiak's your baby. Obviously, it's a great product. I've tried a couple of them. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes now.
For sure.
Because that's what Seaford Vikings do, baby.
Yeah, man. Vikings, let's go.
Apparently, 2 alumni of the smallest town in the fucking island
Didn't know each other.
didn't know each other,
Yeah.
came in a room, did a podcast.
Fuck yeah, kill the podcast.
We did okay. You blew it out of the fucking water. So I'm going to thank everybody for tuning in to this week's episode of The Voice.
And Rizzles, I want to thank Pete, my man behind the camera. That's my boy. And of course, Greg.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
The
Thank
Supp
you for
Wolf.
having me on.
That's it, baby.
Cool.
Peace.